everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Rime of the Frostmaiden, or whatever title these people have made up with their graffiti. That I'm not going to dignify with a proper statement of response.
That only makes us do it more for your attention.
Maybe that's what I want.
Now I don't know what to do.
But yes, hello, welcome. Episode 2. We are here. We are live. I believe everything is fine. I always have like a moment of, is there a technical difficulty I'm not aware of? And I'm sure if there is, chat will yell at me about it. So it's fine. It's all good. How's everybody doing? I hope you've had a lovely week in the interim week since we last spoke. Anybody got any like hyper interesting going ons that I must know about?
Gabe, if you don't talk about Motherlands, I will reach through the internet and fight you.
Okay. Yesterday I worked behind the scenes for a while on the world and design and the archetypes and the cultures for a show that we just aired yesterday on Cypher of Tears channel, Into the Motherlands. It was fantastic seeing other people get to experience like a first glimpse of that world as they were delving into character creation. It was really exciting. We literally had, I think, like 9,700 viewers where we peaked
Hell
at just for the first show. So I'm incredibly excited to see where it goes. It was really exciting getting to see the players and then the viewers see the world and then like talk about the things they were excited to see and what they wanted to see. Because as we're designing the game at the same time that they're playing, so it's like literally live play testing where a community gets to see it. So as people are like, oh, I want to know more about this, I'm literally like, okay, I can actually tell you more.
All right, let me just write that down. Yeah.
And it's been a nice experience just to be able to see what people want, so I know what to work on instead of like I'm working on 3 things and people only care about the one, and then those other 2 are like, well, no one cares about my flying squirrel dog with knives, I guess. Whatever.
You had me at with knives. You had me at with knives. Yeah.
You had me a dog?
See, that wasn't even a thing that actually existed.
I mean, it was flying squirrels for me. I mean,
okay, I'm gonna start writing on that. Somebody else talk.
Please give it to me. I want it now.
How about you, Dave? What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question for everyone actually, because this is something I found out about this week. Is anybody aware of VTubers?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
As a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I found out about that.
I used to watch the like really popular one. What was it, like Kizuna AI, like all the time? It's really funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that was like a little while ago, but I'm like finding out about all these new ones now.
I'm assuming you're referring to HoloLive.
Mm-hmm.
I sure am.
I got a message from someone about that at 1 a.m. Like, hey, you know about HoloLive? I'm
what?
Like, no, what? Open this video right now. And it was an hour long. And I'm like, what? Okay.
It was a lot of stuff.
You did it.
You know,
your friends do not care about you, Gabe. Like whoever that friend was.
I accept it.
But you know what? Like people sharing that crazy like love for some thing that they're into is like even at 1 o'clock in the morning is like enthusiastic. You know.
Thing is, yeah, I like it. I did it. I watched it. I was doing other stuff at the same time, but I did in fact watch that whole video. I was still confused at the end, but I was also intrigued, so they got me.
So what about it, Dave? Because you asked us if we were familiar with it, but I assume that there's like a thing.
I just kind of didn't know how prolific it was and how many people were aware of it. And I was kind of like, it's a bit weird.
Yes.
But it's kind of funny. So I started watching clips of they've started to do English streams, but it's still kind of Japanese actors, I want to say. I mean, they're still streamers that talking entirely in English. And there's one that's like a really anxious shark, and she's adorable. And that was it.
All
was
right,
it,
yeah,
Lester?
no, good. I'm glad you've been exposed to the world of this VTuber.
I want to
stuff.
become one.
I wanna become
I got you.
Yes,
Let me know when your
please.
birthday is. I know someone that does like the 2D live art. I will
It's
commission whatever you want. Of
Anime
you as a
Dave.
VTuber. Yes.
Can we
It's
make
next Sunday.
Rattle a
Get
VTuber,
on it.
please?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
rattle for VTuber.
Rattle
Yeah,
has
it's cool
great
Sunday.
VTuber vibes for sure.
I bet. All right, Dave. This is your birthday present. It might not be ready on your birthday, but we'll have something.
Yeah, figure
I
it
have
out.
to stream, which
That's-
is
That's fine.
I
Yeah,
don't think
do it.
anybody
I
would be
want it.
upset about that.
No.
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 Wait, you're
And if
streaming on
you
your
are,
birthday?
we don't care. Entertain us.
No.
That means I'm going to come be there. Oh, you just have to
Definitely
stream
do.
if you're a VTuber. Let's get you streaming more, Dave. I'm
Heck
so
yeah.
dedicated to this.
People-
You made a mistake telling me about this.
People
if
like your
you're-
face.
And then it's going to be a digital VTuber face that's
Yeah.
whatever you want. It could literally just be Rattle. Rattle could be your
That's what
Could
I
I do
said.
it every stream on this one?
Yes,
That'd be
I
okay.
heard you. I heard you, Abria. Rattle
Abria.
should have their
It's
own.
'cause we're on the same
their own
wavelength.
string.
No,
Rattle
I-
should have their own little VTuber channel and be awesome.
rattling.
And only
Rattle is
play
an
stabbing
undead
games.
skeleton and would survive
Yeah,
to be a VTuber.
of course. Because that's
I'm
what
into
the,
it.
the eventual career of all immortal beings is
That's-
to become a streamer of some
There we
description.
go.
That came out a lot weirder. and
I mean,
more
what? I don't know
interesting than
anything
I
about that.
expected. Yeah.
I see you.
By the way, I don't think anybody would ever be upset with more content created by you, Dave.
Except me.
Fact.
Maybe that's fair.
I get frightened a lot all the time.
No,
That's fair.
It's not my fault.
World's
it's
scary.
not. The world is scary.
Yeah,
it is
mostly
legit.
that seems like the correct response to all stimuli in the world, especially in 2020. Did you
Yeah.
hear me?
So I was thinking about this just recently. I know this isn't I'm laughing, but I swear there's a lead up to it. You know all those memes like in the last 4 or 5 years that were like, "What are you gonna be doing in 4 years?" I don't know. I don't have 2020 vision or whatever. Bet they never saw this shit.
That's true.
No one
What are you
saw
gonna be
this
doing in 20
coming.
Their 2020
Crying.
vision was useless.
I'm going to be crying. That's it. Oh, that's you know what? If you would have called that, I would have said
Yeah,
crying.
yeah. I mean, I think you're correct. Yeah.
Gonna gouge out my hindsight if I have to look back on this cursed year.
How
It's so weird because I want to say that everything about this year has been cursed for me, but like I have a full-time job and health insurance. I am very, very fortunate to be in the position I am. And so I'm like, yes, most of this year, deeply cursed and terrible. Me having a job and feeling secure financially for the first time in over a year.
Aki,
I
how
think,
dare
you
you
know-
put a good spin on this?
You know,
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, I think it's fair to acknowledge that things are bad, but it's also fair to acknowledge that you personally are doing okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. I agree. I'm in the same place. I'm like, yeah, all right, things are okay for me. You know, but like,
Speaking of things being okay that you wish they weren't,
what?
I don't know why I segued
What?
into that, but I hope some
Why did
people
you
are
do
on the
that?
same wavelength as me.
Dave, are you gonna tell me something
Good?
about
No.
something that has happened?
It's about politics and the news.
Yeah, you probably should.
Oh.
Probably should
I
go
probably
there.
shouldn't say
But,
Yeah,
that.
probably not.
Yeah.
I
Proud
heard
of you.
I heard in the pre-show when we were talking when we weren't on camera that something happened to Dave's ceiling fan and I must know what it was.
Yeah.
So
The other thing I've been doing this week, got a small infestation of mites in my room.
No.
Great.
So we've been killing those a lot, and because they're attracted to light, we had a little party up there, up in my light. So
Oh no.
we just pulled the whole fixture off, cut the wires, and just like scorched earth. It's
You-
just gone now.
You assured me this was a funny story. I'm not sure that
It is
I
a funny
agree.
story.
I'm not sure that I
The funny
agree that
part-
this is a funny story.
They must all die forever.
Feel
They're
like
not
you're-
allowed to be in my
I
room.
feel like you're misleading me on that
Cool.
one.
Yeah, me too. I'm with Elf.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Abria, tell me
That
what
was
you've
death.
been doing in the last week. I need a palate cleanser from that terrible.
I'm being really
Honestly,
weird today. I'm so sorry.
many mites. No.
So many. Oh, God.
I got my first actual full day off in a month
Yes.
And it was amazing. So I've been just hanging art and doing stuff in and around my house, which is super fun. And other than that, had the finale of Pirates of Salt Bay, which was super great. Aki actually is a character that exists in that universe. So it was very bittersweet to like have like the finale of the longest campaign I've ever streamed like go off, but it went really well. And yeah, it's nice. I'm vaguely stressed out about a project that like is coming up but is unannounced, and I'm just like, can I tell the internet? And Twitch keeps going, no. So
No.
that's the like week I'm living in.
It is a secret.
It's a secret, even as you are streaming it. Tell no.
How about you? How about you, Arky? Anything earth shattering this past
I
week?
mean, I have a couple of things that are coming down the pipeline, but I also don't know when they're officially being announced. Like, I have stuff starting this upcoming Saturday that I'm not sure has even like.
One of them is being announced. It should be announced after the show is over.
I feel like we are the show, and this is something that's happened recently, of maybe something will be announced soon. Like, every week it's like a new thing that we cannot talk about.
Yeah.
We're the NDAs.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
great.
It's like
That's the new name of our group. We are the NDAs.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it's just like I have a couple of things that are in the works that are coming up that I can't say whether or not I'm allowed to talk about them. So, but look forward to my Saturday being ridiculous because I got a lot going on and I'm very excited about it.
Yes.
no one from Roll20 is allowed to watch this stream because it's supposed to be marketing for them, and all we're doing is talking about other projects.
No, we got plenty of Roll20 stuff going on too.
Hell yeah.
That's true.
Like
Roll20
Roll20
Con's coming
Roll20
out
Yeah,
Con.
Roll20 Con.
Yeah, like
Shit.
Roll20 Con.
We're probably
Are we
gonna
allowed
do
to
a
talk
thing for
about
that.
games that we're playing in that yet?
Yeah, let's not, just because I don't know
Whatever.
for sure, but we
Yeah,
will be
look.
So
doing.
maybe that's the stuff that we were talking about that we can't
will be
announce yet.
doing something for that. Hey, there you go.
I love
Hey,
us.
we have now announced the announcement of the announcement.
But we can't talk about it on this channel because it's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But our big announcement is that all of our characters are going to become VTubers. This year. That's it.
And level 2 VTuber.
Level
Man,
2 VTubers.
how did I have to be the GM for the everybody gets to be VTubers part of the show?
Yeah, we missed out. We missed this opportunity back in Rime.
Fucking short
Yeah.
straw on this one.
Oh,
we were all
love
like, this is
you.
going to be really edgy and dark, and it's
Yep.
going to be like a horror tone, and we just fucked it up. I'm so sorry.
I mean,
I don't think so. I feel like this is like
It's all
where we
gone.
get all
It's
the
all gone
giggles
great.
out,
It's
and
all
then we
great.
can go be serious. This is all the time I get to talk because then
Well-
I become Bursa, and I'm
well,
like,
and also like dark does not mean all serious. It just means
true.
that
That's true.
like I'm not going to skimp on the decapitation description. You know.
Oh, yeah,
when
that's
it
really
comes
funny.
up, for
Like
example.
the decapitated dwarf. I just, in character and out of character. It's just like,
Yeah, you
that's
pull
amazing.
his blue boots out of the snow, and he's got no head. You know where the head is because you saw all the heads in the cave.
Love it.
Rip.
My week, specifically my weekend. My week was super busy, but specifically my weekend, I did almost nothing. And I say that in the best possible way, except that I wanted to do almost nothing a different way than I did. Because on Sunday, me and my partner were gonna go out and like walk through the local bison reserve and like see if we could, you know, spot some
Get a bison?
spot some fluffy cows. But then it rained like the moment we stepped out the door, so we were like, well, guess we won't be doing that. And then I just stayed in for the whole weekend playing video games. That's what I did.
That's frustrating.
That's what I did. But I was like so dedicated to the plan of going out that I couldn't bring myself to stream the video games I was playing because I had already decided I wouldn't be online during that time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it was like a whole trying to pick what I was gonna do thing. But that's okay. We're gonna plan for it next week instead and keep trying until we get there.
please take pictures of.
Oh, I
adorable
will.
fluffy cows.
I will if I see them for 100% for sure.
I love bison so much.
People may not know this, but I have a huge weakness for like any fluffy cow-shaped thing. They are my favorite. They are my absolute favorite.
If you ever
Like,
come to California, we'll go to Catalina.
My phone background is like a little Highland cow.
Oh, look at that little baby.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's what I did. All right. Well, I guess that brings us to D&D, I suppose, to
Can there please
play
be Highland cows in
the game.
10 Towns?
There are a
Please.
lot of like, I imagine there are a lot of like goats and yaks and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like a very northern.
Fluffy boys.
Just give me lots of fluffy boys. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I can definitely do that.
Thank you.
What was I gonna say? We should talk about what happened last time. Let me give you like a brief refresher for those of you who don't remember. So to begin our adventure last week, the dwarf Hlyn Trollsbane gave the group a quest to chase after a murderer. With the merchant group Torga's some or other. Or I think it's just Torga's actually. And I believe Bursa figured out where they would be. So that is like a thing that you know. And I think it was Bryn Shander, but I'm not sure if I said Bryn Shander or Bremen. One of the two. I didn't take good notes, to be honest. But so that happened. But then there was a quest that completely interrupted that quest because a dog was involved. And dragged everybody on a quest up a mountain to rescue a guide that some adventurers had hired, and to save them from certain doom on Kelvin's cairn, the mountain that you all climbed. You braved the weather, you braved the environment, and you made it to the top of the mountain where there is a cave of yetis, which you also braved. You fought a giant cat at one point to save Garrett's life. And now I believe we were like on the descent. In our initial beginning of this section.
Yeah, so we found the remains of the tiefling, but we did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You found the tiefling's remains. They were frozen solid.
Yeah.
The Goliath was clearly like mauled by Yeti, and the halfling is with you. The Lightfoot halfling is with you.
And I forgot Vidrux is very mad at me right now.
And Vidrux
Did you steal the spell book?
You did, yeah. Somebody took the book out of.
You said
her hands.
steal?
Yeah, you did steal it. You took it.
I mean, she was dead.
She didn't say you could have it.
Yeah. Rattle makes a very fair point.
You
I'm
like
not in
even
character yet, but
continue, Elf.
care about wills and like proper procedure.
You put the axe. So. Oh, you took the axe too. That's right.
But yes, Asterix, the tiefling, was dead. You took her spellbook out of her hands. You also found a potion of invisibility on her.
That's right.
One of you has that. I don't know which one. And Dave got a sweet pair of blue boots off a decapitated dwarf. Because that's actually in the narration. Anyway, you had just told Garrett, I believe, to go and like wait at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
And I remember you sent the 5 sled dogs off to go and like retrieve Keegan from Targos, right? To like bring him back so that he could like help with things. How much of like the rest of the party are you like saving? Are we worried about corpses, or is it just like the living halfling girl, and then that's that?
I feel like my understanding was Vidrux was grabbing like important personal effects in order to like prove loss of life.
Okay,
and then basically just shoveling snow over them so that they're not left to
be food.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. I
mean,
that's
kind of the Yetis are still going to find them and eat them, but that's fine because that's how Yetis work.
Honestly, let's consider it a game for them. Are we in character doing this? I don't know what's happening right now.
I'm just trying to get like a read on like where at the beginning of this episode our camera zooms in on the group doing what. You know what I mean?
I think we were headed down the mountain because the last thing I said was I wanted to take the axe and then
yeah, exactly. So you're headed down to meet with Garrett, I assume, at the bottom. So now we can sort of take it more first person-y, if you know what I mean.
Sweet.
The weather is obviously just as terrible. It's like always bad, especially up here. There was like a break in the clouds when you were at the top, and you know things were kind of nicer and clearer. But coming back down, it's snowy. It sucks. It takes a lot of time because you've got to negotiate like the difficult terrain and so forth. But like, it's not the kind of thing I'm gonna make anybody roll for, because there's nothing that would, like, unless I'm rolling the same things we rolled on the way up. You know what I mean?
There's another avalanche. The
I'll be
first
better at it
avalanche
this time, I
triggered another
promise.
avalanche.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't have Boy around barking up a storm.
Borgstorm.
Borgstorm.
Borgstorm. Hashtag.
Hashtag Borgstorm is our
Win a
giveaway
copy.
tag, by the way, for today. I forgot to mention this because I'm new at the whole like saying DM stuff at the beginning of the game. If you want to win a copy of this game for Roll20, you can.
This game is in Gabe Presents.
No, this game is in
Dale.
Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
I've never heard of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing Gabe Presents Icewind Dale, Abria of the Frostmaiden.
Uh-huh.
And
We're
Elf goes
dead.
there too.
And Elf goes there too.
We're so dead.
And
Elf presents, Gabe presents.
And Elf also.
Incoming TPK. Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Yeah, it's a real shame you're not in a precarious situation on the side of a mountain or anything.
Gosh, no. I'm not sweating. It's fine.
Anyway, you make your way down. I'm not gonna, I lied that it takes a couple hours at least, and a difficult sort of navigation, but you make your way down and you see at the bottom of the valley at the camp that Garrett is there waiting with Boy sitting with him, and he sort of waves to you as you like approach, and he sees that the halfling is with you. I've got to remember her name because I am the worst.
Parallel.
Parallel. Yeah, Parallel.
Nice.
Sees that Parallel is with you and like looks happy about that, but he looks a little bit concerned that like the other two aren't,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they survived their experience up there. We tried to lead them to their sweet repose, but we did manage to claim a few of their more precious items in order to make sure that they are properly identified. And also as part of, payment for us coming up here and risking our lives to get you back.
Well, I'm liking you more and more every time you say things.
I mean, it's kind of a miracle any of us made it back at all, weather what it is, mountain what it is.
I would say that assessment is definitely correct, but it is good that we were at least able to get 2 out of the 4 of you home safely.
So what was this again? You were just touring the mountain?
Like any adventuring group, like yourselves, I'm sure these folks were hired for some job or paid to do something or looking for some treasure. I'm just the guide, I would just take them up the mountain because I know the terrain.
That's a good point. What are you looking for?
Parallel looks up at Rattle and goes, "What is any adventuring group looking for? Caves full of gold."
Did you find any gold in that Yeti's infested? I'm sorry, that's a really insensitive word to say. The Yeti populated cave?
Nope.
Found a new friend though, didn't you?
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe if you ever come back for a visit, they'll be happy to see you.
You're acting like we acted insensibly, but you're all just as dumb. You're here for what? Us?
Follow
We're
the
here to
dog.
rescue you from your bad choice. For coin and cider.
I went to do it for coin as well.
Nobody's judging anybody.
I don't know. It seemed like you were judging me a little bit.
I wasn't judging you, Parallel. You're not wrong. We also accepted a mission to come up this mountain and nearly get ourselves killed by an avalanche. But, we are also adventurers looking to make ends meet. Well, at least I am. I don't know about the rest of these folks yet.
Bursa snarls like every time
Somebody's
she is referred to as an adventurer.
Present company excluded.
Well,
Yeah. Some of us made choices.
yeah.
Some of us didn't.
There you go. That's about the reason we were up there. Honestly, it was Wasn't my plan. It was Asterix's plan. She thought she knew about some secret magic thing, or whatever. But you know wizards.
Was that the first cave you guys had come upon up there?
Well, we didn't even get to the cave before we were ambushed by Yeti. But yeah.
Well, I guess at this point you probably will have to wait for a little while before you chance another excursion up there to see if there's any.
I'm not hanging around here. I'm going back to Neverwinter. Screw this place.
So you're saying there was a cave up there that you had intended to go, but you did not reach?
No, I don't know. Asterix had the plan.
It's in
Maybe.
the book.
That's what I was going to say. But in any case, I believe Bursa is owed some cider. So for now, why don't we try and make the happy husbands reunited and safe again?
Garrett looks pleased at this particular suggestion and goes like, whenever you're ready. I mean, I want to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Are we gonna wait for the dog sled to come back or no?
With this many people, we won't all be able to fit on it anyway.
Might as well
Okay.
start, and then we'll meet them on the way.
Here's hoping that Keegan doesn't ride out to meet us and then we miss him and then we have to go rescue Keegan again.
I mean,
That's-
if we take the straight shot, if he's coming this way, we should run into him.
Okay.
The drugs?
Yes.
How you feeling over there, buddy?
Contemplative.
Your eyes are still a bit red.
Sitir and Nervux. I'm fine.
All
Does
right.
anyone speak Draconic?
Nah, dog. All you, baby.
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, I said I do not trust them in Draconic.
In reply, I don't actually speak Draconic. In reply, Yeshivon says, "Well, it's likely they don't trust us either. So at least that's something to think on."
I'm gonna say in clear common to Rattle, is this what we sound like when we talk in Yeti?
Yes.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about how rude it felt.
Look at us learning.
All together then.
I bite
What
my
are your-
tongue very quickly.
So I would.
Adrux, what are your plans with the spell book and the axe?
To see if there are any next of kin to return them to.
And if there are not,
Then I will find them a new home.
and I just want to note that like Bursa is asking that with like a truly neutral face, like there's no sense of accusation,
Mhm.
as if she is actually trying to figure out, like she's trying to navigate the like he got very mad about this like simple transaction earlier, and needs to understand the difference between like what she did versus what he's doing. Offered without an insight check.
If Bursa was around, whenever Vadrux took something from the wizard, he said a prayer before he touched her.
Oh, that's right. You did say that out loud. Noted.
And then he
Cool.
would have done that with the axe as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That was a mental thing I actually forgot.
Yeah, I got you.
Sweet.
All right then. Off we go. Mush.
All right, and away across the snow, the snowy
You
snow.
say mush when we just run too. Person just starts running.
Yeshivon follows behind you with a whip.
No.
I don't know why they're whipping, but it does make me run
Mush!
faster.
I mean, Owlbear's on a sled. with
Faster,
people.
Owlbear! Drive the sled!
If I was an
Oh, no.
owlbear again, I would happily
no.
pull a sled. I'd be so good at it.
Good.
Yeah. So across the flats, it's like kind of clear this time around. It's not like very snowy, but what you're seeing is like a lot of mountainous like areas and some tundra and that kind of terrain. But it's like snow in every direction. You get like snow blindness from the amount of not anything but snow that there is. But you're headed back towards Targos, you know the way, and you have Garrett with you, so you don't need to make any checks or anything. Like, Garrett knows this area, even if it is completely indistinguishable. And you do run into Keegan coming back the other way, about 3/4 of the way along. Keegan shows up with the rest of the dogs, the 5 dogs that are with the sled.
Can I please attempt to halt the dogs?
You can, yeah. I mean, Keegan halts the dogs when he sees you all.
I'm gonna do it first.
Okay, all right, yeah. You want
to
to
yell? I want to bellow across the plain. Sit.
You want to roll an animal handling? I'm assuming that you do.
Very badly. 14.
That's not terrible. With a 14, the dogs do notice you. And of course, Keegan stops them anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
I feel like I did it though.
But you have a sense of personal accomplishment, and the dogs like you. That you know enough, so it's fine. And Boy also looks over at you when you're commanding things, even though he's literally not left the side of Garrett since the start of this whole thing. So Keegan stops and he's like, "You made it! Great, good. Back home then." And he gets off the sled and sees Garrett, and they embrace, in the cold, but it's everybody's wearing thick winter gear, so it's a little bit snowman embrace.
Go easy on that. He was bleeding to death 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that's right.
And Garrett doesn't reply to you, but says to Keegan this would stop me bleeding to death any day. Seeing your face. Yeah. I thought I was dead up on that mountain. Thank you so much, for thinking of me, for sending these fine adventurers, fine rescuers. I'm not very good at them. Assume romantic dialogue between them, warmth, kindness, friendship. I'm terrible at that, writing that. So there you go.
Oh.
That's what I've got for you.
Think about the most romantic thing you could think of saying.
Please imagine a romantic reunion between 2 wonderful partners who care about each other a lot. Just imagine that in your head.
Snow.
In the
Just
snow.
imagine the sign scene from Love Actually.
And
Oopsie.
that's
Didn't do it right.
And that's what it is. So Garrett sort of gets a ride on the sled and with Keegan, and Boy gets hooked back up into his regular sled spot. And they meet you back at Targos. Where of course you are brought to, or not brought, but you return to Keegan's abode. And he has for you what was promised. There is the smell of apple cider when you enter, that has clearly been prepared in preparation for your arrival. Bertha, he hands you a mug almost immediately upon your entry. It's nice and warm in here. There's a campfire, sort of a fire in the middle of the building.
Where are the dogs?
Outside,
Bring them
all
in.
out of
I will drink my cider with the dogs.
You want?
Yes.
Okay, it might get a little cramped. It's 6 dogs in here.
No, this is good.
He opens the door and whistles the dogs in, and there's a gang of 6 white husky dogs that bust in and rampage around for a minute in an excited fashion before settling into places near the warm.
Perfect.
I as an aside to the truck, I'm so this what you imagined when you decided to go out on your great adventures? Certainly not mine.
This is not my first adventure. But
Really?
I am not terribly surprised. You do not always get to pick the environment you are stuck in. And if you do, it may not be the environment you anticipated.
Wow, reaching to the cry here.
Am I? Because yours obviously didn't end well.
But that's what I mean. The situation of not being where you expect in a situation is fine. We'll work on it. We'll talk about your adventures. They'll be great. I don't
No.
remember where I died, so I'm just gonna make things up.
No.
So while you're having this exchange, Rattle and Vidrux, Keegan comes over to Vidrux, interrupting a little bit with a little box of figurines. He looks over to Bursa first during this and goes like, "Oh, I have one specially for you. You said you wanted a wolf, right?" And he like hands you a little wolf figurine that looks like, or a dog figurine that looks like one of the sled dogs that he's like clearly whittled out of wood or something.
This is perfect. Thank you.
Each of these figurines is worth 10 gold, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
Wow.
And
It smells
he
good.
opens up the box and like shows you the contents for Drux and anybody else who wants to like look inside. And it's like, I have others, that I've worked on. And so inside the box there are, and you can choose which one you would like, each person. There are a spouting whale, a smiling fox, a pair of dancing hares, and a walrus with the words "Big Love" carved into it.
yes.
Is this gonna be our PvP fight for a big love walrus?
Yeah.
I want the whale, please.
The whale? Okay, so he hands the whale over to Yeshawan.
Oh yeah, they all look great. Give them to us.
I'm gonna take the dancing hares. Why do I already have I have a small wood. I pulled up my small wooden figurine of a yawning walrus. Did you make this? Because I already had that.
Oh
as a
yeah, you
trinket.
have the walrus. He looks at it. He takes it from you and like looks it over. And he's like, I haven't seen this in years. How did you get this?
It was a gift from someone.
He like hands it back to you. He's like, well then they have good taste, to pass on my art. Just saying.
And I'm gonna take the dancing hares.
The dancing hares. Okay.
Yeah.
Rattle, you have a smiling fox or a walrus with the words "Big Love" carved into it.
I think this is an obvious choice.
Yeah, I don't
really
think this is a
is.
choice here. I think this
We
is
knew what
just.
we were doing. I will reach in and take the smiling fox because I know what I'm doing. We all know what we're doing here.
There's story behind this one. Seems kind of weird.
I made it on commission, and then the guy didn't want to pay, so I just have it now. Big Love.
Killed him.
I think it was a guy in like, if I'm remembering correctly, it was a guy like a long way from here. He's some traveler. I don't know. Maybe he's from Waterdeep.
Those folks. Very strange. Well, great. Thanks for the drinks.
Wonderful.
Already enjoyed mine.
You are. He's like, you're welcome. He doesn't catch your sarcasm at all. Just like turns back and socializes with other people.
How pure.
It is like a very friendly, very nice sort of environment. I mean, it's a little bit rough, right? Like in terms of, there isn't much comfort available except for this nice fire and the ciders and the cold weather outside and the many dogs. And the many dogs that Bursa has allowed in.
Vidrux, come pet dogs.
I am okay, but thank you.
Come pet the dogs.
I am okay. Thank you.
Bonding experience.
Keegan looks over at you like, you don't like dogs? You're not. Some people don't like dogs.
I do. I am trying to avoid an emotional connection that makes it harder to leave.
Gotcha.
I was just gonna ask because the original deal was to have boy. Do you not want to have boy anymore? I was gonna ask you privately because I think that's a thing that people do, and then you didn't let me have that. So I have to ask it out loud.
No one should be taken from their home unless they choose to leave themselves. This dog is obviously very happy with their family. There are
Then
plenty others.
how do I get you a dog? You need one to be happy.
There's probably a place in town where we can get them. Where did you get your dogs?
Not here in Targos. They're trained elsewhere. I, out of game, do not know exactly where you would acquire husky dogs. So assume that Keegan tells you one of the towns, which I will further fill in later when I've discovered which one has dog training in it.
Awesome. Perfect.
Dog town.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that one. I don't look like the way they're looking at me.
Oh, it's because dogs like bones.
Okay,
Oh.
you can't just
Ta-da!
point out the bone thing. That's very rude. I can't tell. You both seem to denigrate us for being blunt, but then you are also rude.
This is really awkward of a conversation to have in front of people that we have just helped, is it not?
Garrett
I
and
don't speak the snarl language that you and Yeshivan speak.
Garrett and Keegan do not care. They're like talking to each other, you know, like they're just so happy to be like back together. You know,
The dogs are just listening.
You
though.
did them a real solid. Also, I would like to mention that on picking up the Big Love Walrus, you all become level 2.
Big Love Walrus makes us level 2.
Yeah.
Magic Titan.
But I think Yashivan kind of takes in Bursa's words and goes, "You're not wrong. I think
I
we all
think
have
she
some rough edges to work out. And because we don't know each other very well, the words that we say to each other are probably more keenly felt. I like to joke a bit. It's perhaps a flaw of mine. And I do tend to be a little bit too overly familiar with people I don't know all that well. I wasn't attempting to disparage Rattle. I find Rattle to be quite charming, and I actually really like his bones. And I don't have any interest in chewing on them like the dogs do. So I apologize for the overfamiliarity if it's making you feel uncomfortable. But hopefully, as we get to know each other, it will become more obvious when it is that I am simply ribbing you.
Ribbing.
Oh, my existence is a joke.
You know what? You and I are going to have a conversation sometime because my story is so much of a joke it might make you cry.
Yeshivan or Bursa's gonna refill Yeshivan's like cider mug.
Oh.
He isn't gonna say anything because I don't think she like has the proper like
Keegan
emotional
keeps
training.
like boiling water and making more
Yeah,
of this cider.
make
Like
more.
his promise was like you could drink it until you were done drinking it. So
Yeah, I'm gonna die in cider and then just pass out on dogs. That is Bursa's entire plan, and it's very well telegraphed.
You know what? If we die at level 2 because we drank too much cider and then passed out on dogs, I feel like that is a good way to go out.
Yep, just get apple wasted. It's gonna
Get apple-
It's good.
like, oh no, get pale Goliath wasted
Oh no.
instead of white girl wasted. It's pale Goliath wasted
Oh no.
on that apple cider.
Fair enough. This is the rosé of 10 towns. Let's go.
Yeah, cider.
All right.
So sorry. Okay, moving on.
We've all had a lovely time with someone that we need to go and counter murder.
Yeah. Oh,
Keegan looks at you weirdly at that, but like that's not atypical of, you know, Icewind Dale in general, so.
Do what you gotta do.
Vidrux, you said you wanted to like check if there were any next of kin for those adventurers, right? Perilu, by the way, she like left, right? Like as soon as she was capable of like being like on her own, she was gone.
That's so fair.
Assumedly, she's taking a boat, like the next wagon back down south to warmer climates where she can be a proper halfling thief and not get beat up by Yeti. Yeah, but yeah, you wanted to search for next of kin for the adventurers.
Yes, I did.
If you ask like Keegan or Garrett, they might be able to like direct you. I just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I asked Keegan and Gareth if they. Well, Gareth was the one who was on the mountain, right?
Yeah, Garrett was on the mountain. Yeah.
I ask if he knows any next of kin of the bear, Goliath, or the tiefling, Asterith.
I don't know about bear, but I do know that they're like Asterix might be related to Scath, who you'll find in the Luskan Arms for sure. If you want to speak to him.
Very appreciated. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, obviously. If you can get news back to them, that's good. I'd tell him myself, but Scath's a little grumpy.
Fair enough.
Can't imagine he's going to take bad news well.
Most people don't.
Especially not the death of a family member.
Great. Why not quick conversation into another one?
So,
Let's go.
level
Before
2.
we-
Before we
on.
go, level 2s? Level
Yes.
2s?
I just want
Yes,
there's one
yes,
thing
please.
Bertha wants to do before she leaves like this place is she's gonna like produce a journal that's like super like there's like big bite marks through it. It's one of the adventures like that she's ransacked when she was in Owlbear. They're like a leather bound journal, and she like rips out a bunch of like the old adventurers notes and presents like a half filled journal and hands it to Keegan and says, "Will you please write down how to make cider
You want me
for
to
me?"
write it down? Okay,
Please.
sure. Yeah, sure. He takes
Thank you.
he takes the journal from me. He looks it over a little bit, like there's like teeth marks in it and stuff.
Yeah,
and
like a big chomp.
It's like-
yeah.
did you run into? Never mind. Like it's just like flips open the journal and gets to like an empty page sort of thing. Notes, by the way, while he's looking through it, that there's like 3 different handwritings in here. And gets to an empty page, and he writes down. He mutters to himself. He's like, writing down the ingredients list of like the cider that he makes. I don't know how to make cider, so I can't tell you what that is.
Geez, cinnamon.
But,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dark anise.
There's this. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a clove
Is
in there
there
somewhere.
is there nutmeg? I don't know. Whatever.
Yes, I believe the blend would be cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and star anise are usually
And
what
mace if you're feeling spicy. This is a thing
Yes.
Abria actually knows, but.
Well, all right. He writes down like the stuff
Cool.
that he uses.
Oh,
to
a
make-
mace! I have that. Just got it.
and hands you back the book. Like there you go. You're welcome to it, of course.
Thank you. And then yeah, she's just gonna like look at the recipe and then rip out all of the other like adventurers' notes and just throw them in the fire.
Cool. So you just spend the rest of the evening drinking cider, hugging dogs, and throwing paper into the fire.
Yep, that's Bersa's best life.
One
What's up?
piece by one.
Yep.
Wonderful. Anything else anybody wants to do before we elide the rest of the evening at Keegan and Garrett's? Is there anything further conversations or anything else like that you want to talk about?
I give them a gold and tell them to cherish one another.
They seem more than happy to accept your very generous gold coin, and it is clear to you from the outside of their relationship that they love each other very much.
And I do not ask for the javelins back.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they won't offer them back to you. They're kind of like tools that were used or have been marked away, sort of thing. Yes.
So I would plan to ask them if they know of any modes of transportation, but if that's like something for another town, that's totally fine.
No, when you ask Keegan, he's like, well, you can hire like sleds and dogs to get between towns, but they're just rented to you sort of thing, not you know.
More than enough.
We could rent you our sled if you want. I'm sure, Boy would be happy to join you for a little bit longer, as long as you bring him back, right?
Of course. That's perfect.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Garrett or I are going anywhere for the next little while, at least. And Garrett, laughs, but there's a little bit of that, my broken ribs, to it.
I'm gonna pump 4 more points of healing from my lay on hands into Gareth, because I assume we're gonna rest anyways.
Sure, yeah, okay. You bring him back up to snuff, yeah.
Did you hear that, Bursa? We get to keep traveling with Boy.
And 5 other dogs.
Yeah, Bursa definitely cares about the other dogs more than me.
The worst.
What?
Bursa,
It's not because Boy isn't a good dog, but
look,
the other dogs are good and they all work together.
Bursa is quantity over quality, all right?
Thank
Dogs,
you. I want an equivalent amount of dog to my giant frame, and that's 5 dogs.
My compatriots, is it all right if we go speak to Scath at the Luskin Arms?
Sure. I'm always down to talk to a hot tiefling.
Yes. Pet continues
He's
setting.
going to be grieving a family member.
You
Would
may be
stop?
disappointed, is all I have to say on that.
That's fair.
Seems
Sorry,
important to you. Sure.
No, that's completely fair assessment. There's a time and a place for everything, including me.
Ah, I see. Yes, of course, to help the grieving process along. Yes, Siobhan, for forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people say you must have a good experience to get rid of a bad experience, and I get it.
James, your face.
So do we want to talk about our level 2 stuff? I assume people have been looking at that while I have mentioned it.
Nope.
Oh no! I have stayed organically in this moment.
So have
done
I.
You've done it,
I've done
Dave?
it. I leveled up.
Well, okay, tell
I
me.
haven't done mine
Tell
yet.
me what you got, Dave.
I can do sneaky things.
Yeah, rogue stuff.
Cunning action.
Yeah.
And I've got some more hit points, so I probably won't die in 1 hit. Maybe 2.
Hooray!
Unless it's like a great axe, in which case, probably still 1.
Probably still 1, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else done their level 2 stuff already? You want to talk about it, Gabe?
I did. So I got a fighting style, and the way this is going, I just went with defense. Higher armor class, because we're all squishy in some way, and even that 18 wasn't enough.
Yeah, 18 is... Yeah, if you're the tank, you need
Yep.
that high.
But I also got spells finally as a paladin, which is exciting, which means I can use my divine smite. I can do the purify food drink. I have cure wounds, so I don't just have to rely on my lay on hands, and my lay on hands is now a 10.
Sick.
Oh,
Nice.
significantly better.
Bursa or Yeshavon, either of you
Bursa
have
got
the details?
Mama's got her first sorcery points.
Yes.
So magic is interesting for me now.
What does Storm Sorcerer give you? Because honestly, I've never played one.
It's a lot of cute little stuff. As you cast a spell, you get to move 10 feet as wind whips around you that
Oh,
doesn't
that's
provoke
cool.
away. Yeah. So you just kind of scoot around. It's cute.
Dang, my health went up though.
Where you at?
21.
Damn.
Oh, what would that even feel like? I've got
You're playing a sorcerer.
3 hit points. I've got 3. I've got no HP, and I still need to fix my character sheet because my strength is higher than my charisma. So I'm the weirdest sorcerer ever. I kind of like it. It doesn't make sense. This is not optimized.
Oh, it's good. It's good. What about Yeshavon?
for
What does Yeshavon get a level 2?
I get a couple of Eldritch invocations, but I'm kind of looking through them right now, trying to decide which ones I want.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah, there are quite a lot.
There
Because
are,
they kind
but
of
there
give
aren't very many.
different time.
There are not very many options if you didn't choose Eldritch Blast in the first place, which I did not. So
Okay.
When I was-
I'm a warlock without Eldritch Blast. Yes, I know.
That is-
Hell yeah. What is that even like?
when I was looking through the spells, and I didn't realize, but it's one of the spells that is on Roll20. There's a paladin spell. It's a divination spell called Find Kin.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And it has to be a willing creature, so it probably wouldn't work if they were dead.
No.
But you touch a willing creature or make a spell save attack against an unwilling creature. If the target fails a wisdom saving throw, you learn the identity, appearance, and location of one randomly selected living relative of the target. A creature
Randomly
can choose to automatically
selected
fail the
living
saving throw.
relative. Okay.
Yeah. So it could be real bad, but if I'm like,
when it's just like, oh yeah, they're in Chult. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. Like,
cool, all right.
When I get
But then
there, you know.
It's really sad if you do that and then nobody comes up.
Oh,
So I did not take that.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna assume long rest with Keegan and Garrett and stuff, and you guys will like head out in the morning. This is kind of like a party, and all that business. And I assume Vidrux that you want to talk to Scath about the tiefling asterisks.
Yep.
All right. Well, they are said to be found in the Luskan Arms, which is a building that is both sort of the government center and the oldest public house.
Okay.
So it is a place where you can go and like sleep, but also where a lot of the like people who run this town live. You know, they'll like live in the largest guest rooms, sort of thing, or rent them out. And lots of the business of Targos goes on in the Luskan Arms.
Yeah, so I'll just walk in and look around if I can see a tiefling.
Yeah, so when you're looking around, it's clear that this place is like pretty old. Like really, really old. And not super well maintained. It's like very, very sturdy but sort of rotten walls. You know what I mean? Like thick planks, but not well maintained and like a little damp. There is a sort of like sitting area and like sort of portly, bald commoner type human is hanging out behind one of the like tables. There is, in fact, a tiefling within visibility, and he is talking to 3 or 4 variety of other people. There's a human, there's a Goliath, and there's probably like it looks like maybe a dwarf in front of him, and you can hear from when you walk in that he's like giving them orders of some kind. You know, like, well, you know, James should be on the wall. You're clearly not paying enough attention. Don't fall asleep. You know, even if you're cold, you gotta keep your eyes out. I don't want anybody slacking off, kind of stuff, like this kind of language. And you can't really see the tiefling because he's sort of obscured by the like backs of these people.
Mm-hmm. Slowly approach.
Sure.
Excuse me, is your name Scath?
And he looks up from the table, and he looks like he must be a tiefling that's like 80 by human standards. He's like an old man, you know? He's got like a very grizzled, sort of veteran kind of face to him. One of his horns is broken off in a like a very it wasn't a clean cut sort of way. It's like snapped. And he has a cloth eye patch across one of his eyes. But when you come up to him and you say his name, he like looks up at you with a sort of like almost friendly, if you were not a stranger kind of look. And the soldiers or whoever he was talking to like sort of move off to do their assignments or what have you. He goes like, "Yeah, I'm Scath."
May I have a moment of your time?
He like gestures to the seat in front of him, like, "I got nothing but time."
I said, did you have a family member by the name of Asterisk?
Asterisk. Yeah, I got a cousin. She was here a couple months ago.
And I'll pull the book out of my bag. I am sorry to tell you that your cousin has passed away.
Oh. You know, the Frostmaiden, she gives and she takes. seems like she takes all the fucking time recently. And he like
Yeah.
he takes the book like from your hands and looks through it, and he's like clearly very like jaded about death, you know, like very grumpy and like annoyed about it, but clearly not like shaken up about it. And he looks through it, he goes like, I don't even know what this is, you know, like reading the arcane writings or whatever. He's clearly not a wizard. And he sort of hands it back to you and he goes, you make any better use of that?
Possibly. I just wanted to make sure if the next of kin wanted it, they had the opportunity.
Where'd you find her?
On top of Kelvin's cairn. Frozen.
Then what'd she fucking expect was gonna happen?
She was looking for a cave of some sort.
Yeah, all the adventurers around here, they think they can figure out why the Frostmaiden's pissed or whatever's going on.
Watch your tongue.
My tongue? I'm an important man around here. I will speak however I fucking well please.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Don't it?
You may not have a same fear or care for death, but you are still alive. Not all is so lucky.
Because I do things the smart way.
Well, if it doesn't appear that you need this book, then we will take it with us and we will be on our way. Good, sir.
You're welcome to it. I don't need it.
Obviously, you seem to have everything you need already.
What do you do here, smart one? So I can understand your wisdom.
Captain of the militia of this town.
Excellent. Good to know who to call if something is truly of danger.
Of course, we watch all the walls.
Good. And I stand up, bow, and I walk over.
The thing for him is like he sort of says these things in like an aggressive way, but it's clear that that's just like the way he is, you know? Like he's not like saying screw you, it's just like he would say that to anyone kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
And so when you bow and like step away, he's like, yeah, good luck. Frostmaiden bless you.
I don't know. I'm one of those stupid adventurers.
Well, without it, you're fucked then.
Getting more action
Thank
than you, I
you.
suppose.
Oh, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, I had my action, young man. I had my action. I'm happy where I am right now.
That image in our minds, let us go.
I look at Yeshivan, and there's a very distinct look in my eyes that says, I'm going to kill that man.
Yeshivan just kind of slinks up and sort of drapes themselves a little bit on Vidrux. Now, the captain clearly doesn't need us to be meddling in his business while he's trying to get his work done, Vidrux. We should go and take care of more important matters, don't you think? Besides, it'll be a lot more fun.
I walk out very grumpy, very mad, and his eyes are like there's like that cold steam coming out of his mouth again, like when he was fighting against the crag cat.
Yeah, like real pissed off.
Nice.
When you're leaving and like you turn to sort of go, if you take a look back or you're even listening, you can hear somebody like coming down the stairs, like from one of the guest rooms in the arms, like calling out Scaff's name and stuff. He sounds like a much more well-spoken kind of person, like a smooth city accent almost. And they start having a conversation, you know, in the back, like as you're leaving.
What an insufferable ass. But hey, we got a cool book out of it.
In Draconic, because I'm trying to keep up an appearance, I look at Yeshivan and very distinctly, very clearly say, I'm going to freeze him into bits and separate the tiny chunks across this town so even Boy cannot smell him out.
Look, I don't particularly have a fondness for people who are disrespectful of the dead either.
No, 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 no. I don't even care about that anymore.
Let's go get you something to drink.
Anyways, that was slightly unpleasant. He's back in conversation.
Just back in the swing of things.
Shame. Awkward. I guess he did not care about his family. Shame to not care about family, to be so numb to death that you're as numb to the cold.
He was a bit of a dick, but you know, sometimes family is complicated. Anyways, I think we should either make haste to find this caravan or we should go and get wasted. I'm fine either way.
I just want to do an insight check on the two of them when they come out.
Okay. Were you outside still, like during that whole thing? You weren't.
Yeah, I don't think I went inside. I don't
Okay.
really care.
Yeah, sure.
That's super awkward.
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight.
Cool, tight, 13.
Just
Weird vibes coming
I'm
off
trying.
of both of
I'm
them.
trying to play it off.
Yeah.
That's an 11. It's probably pretty clear that I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
it's fine. It's cool. It's fine.
11 squad.
I don't think that Yeshivon is trying to make as much of an attempt to hide it anyway. So, like, they might be trying to cover for the drugs more than they give a shit about covering for themselves.
It is clear to you, Bursa, that they both came out of that. They both came out of the Luskan Arms upset.
Yeah.
They're both upset about something, angry about something.
Bursa's gonna get like.
But I know they were talking in Draconic, so I don't want to like.
Yeah. Understands the timbre of the snarls.
Yeah.
If not like the language, like that is closer to angry owlbear than probably
Definitely
he is. Like, oh, okay.
It's you know how some languages, even if they're not angry, they just sound like they're angry. I feel like that's
it's German.
Draconic.
Draconic is for sure German.
I've never thought of Draconic that way. I've always thought of it as like a Latin. Yeah.
Schmetterling, like that's butterfly. Why are you angry? Bursa gets
Schmetterling
a little too close, like not like full like bear in the face, but like has that instinct, and then like sniffs, and just kind of narrows her eyes at the two of you. Went poorly.
Understatement, but we have a book and we don't have to deal with that man anymore. So I think that is the long and the short of that. The long and the short, Vidrux.
You do not speak for me, but I respect your statement.
I'm gonna kill that tiefling.
We never talked
my
about what
dumbass will cover it up because that's what I do.
we never talked about what my alignment was. I just want to be very clear.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Okay.
So, sorry. Go ahead. Yes, Siobhan.
Wasn't gonna say anything.
All right.
I was just gonna reiterate what I said before. We can either go off and find the caravan, or we can go get wasted.
I was about to do the like. There are a couple of options. One, the local Three Flags has some delicious stew you can eat. And two, you could hire dogs and go to a different town looking for our boy Cephik Caltro. Or three, you could just do whatever the hell you want because honestly, this part of the adventure is completely open-ended. If you decided you wanted to go to any of the 10 towns, like pretty much any of them, I would just go with that. So it's
the 10 towns pub crawl.
Yeah, it's kind of your call.
If we went to another town, I feel like we'd probably get we have a good chance of finding an actual location of where the caravan's headed. Because right now we just know of it.
Bursa knows where it
Ursa
is.
knows,
Oh.
Yeah.
and was just about to say, just for what it's worth.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Bryn Shander. From like the map, they would be near Bryn Shander.
Oh.
That's how it moves.
Well, I'm cool with heading in that direction. Besides, I think some dogs would do the Drux some good.
You're really into dogs.
Have you seen them? They're fluffy and wonderful.
Honestly, I've turned a corner on sled dogs. They're pretty great. They're not barking at you.
Yeah, softness. Not something I can
What
experience
is-
much anymore.
I apologize. I am about to be incredibly invasive and possibly a little bit rude, but I'm really curious about well, what is sensation like for you now? Like when you touch things, what do you feel? I'm very curious about that. When you don't
Kind of
have
a shape.
Oh. Interesting.
Kind of, yeah. I'm still working it out. It's not,
When
I'm
you
happy
do,
to move on to
I'd
this other place.
love to hear more about it.
Thank you for your interest in my condition.
It's not a condition, it's who you are.
Not super sure on that one yet.
Fair enough. In any case, I find it fascinating and wonderful.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Okay. So, you know that Keegan has allowed you to rent their doggos if you want to take the dog sled, and you will be able to fit on it with your group, I think. I'm just going to elide the fact that I don't really know how big a dog sled is for that, and I don't want to bother having to figure it out. So,
Can we just buy
I think we
one
should all
dog?
fit. No, we probably need all of them. You're very large.
I guess so.
Keegan's willing to...
She just looks down at herself sadly.
Keegan's willing to let this one go for like nothing, because obviously a couple of Scrimshaw figurines is nothing compared to the love of his life. So, you know, you guys rescued people, so you get the dog sled for free this time.
We do.
And that will allow you to get to Bryn Shander in like 3 hours.
Sick.
It is fairly near to here by comparison with other possible locations.
I will fight you all for the ability to drive the sled.
Oh, nobody's fighting you for that.
Okay.
No.
That's not a question. You're driving the sled.
Proficiency ground vehicles. Anyone?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
No,
You
but
can't
we
do any
have
sweet
animal.
tricks.
We have
I
animal
just
handling.
bark
We
at
have
dogs
animal
now.
handling, so that's okay.
I just bark at dogs,
We just
and
have
then we all
animals.
understand each other.
That being
Well-
said, doesn't the driver of the sled usually stand? Do they stand towards the front or towards the back?
In this very cool sled, they're in the front.
There you go.
I don't know.
No, I'm cool with that. Sounds good.
It feels weird. It's honestly probably easy to do either because I think I'm by just a little bit the tallest in the group.
Yep.
Just a little bit.
No, sorry, I didn't mean that sarcastically. I think Vidrux is also very large or very tall. No,
I'm 6 foot. But you're like 8 feet tall, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you're taller. I'm like
You a big girl.
just under 6.
Okay. Oh,
Like-
sweet. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Oh, Bursa's
Like-
Goliath size, so.
You're the kind of girl people
He's
want to
big for
climb like a tree.
Goliath. Yeah.
Sure,
I'm used to
climb
that.
like a tree. Oh.
What is a tree?
Yeah,
Question.
I did say like wood or something. What I should have said is like bone or something for the figurines. Because there is like very little lumber up here. Okay, so to Bryn
Any
Shander.
tusks.
Do it.
Bryn Shander.
To Bryn
Blah, blah, blah,
Shander.
blah.
What we'll do is we'll take a break. right
Take
here.
a break.
And then we will be back with Bryn Shander related shenanigans. Shenanigans.
Bryn Shenanigans.
In just a couple of minutes. So don't go anywhere, friends. Remember, you can type hashtag Borkstorm into the chat for a chance to win a copy of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden for Roll20. So
It's
you
the
should
second
do
coolest
that.
game.
And I will see you very shortly. Okay, be right back. We're going on break.
Bye.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
And of course, my cameras are all messed up because this setup just will not give me a break at all. Hang on while I fix this. We're live. We're live, so feel free to like
We're back
say
from the break.
things.
We're gonna go and find a man who needs to be killed. I think.
I
Wow,
believe,
you don't even know.
I believe that is the plan. Yeah.
We first do need to confirm that he's actually a murderer.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. We will follow
Sefik.
proper procedure.
Yeah, Sefik.
And then Sefik is a member of the caravan by Torga. And if we just kill Sefik and Torga doesn't say, okay, we're boned.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live, y'all.
Ouch.
I just want to live.
I'm so glad I made notes. Y'all trying to get me killed.
Yeah, for drugs. I'm
Oh
so
my
glad.
God.
I'm
Come
so,
on.
I'm so glad you
Value
made
your
notes
life.
too. I've been making some notes this time around, but I'm gonna be really, really brutally honest. I was so anxious about actually GMing the thing last time that I didn't write a single thing down.
I got
You're
paragraphs.
So,
For real.
um,
I did that the whole last campaign.
Yeah.
I even have a note about raggedy ass mountain goats. Like I've got
goats.
days.
Gabe is our scribe
Yeah.
So,
and our note taker.
So headed on your way to Bryn Shander on the sled, you make good time and it's not a problem. It's a short trip by comparison with the one you've just made to Kelvin's Cairn. It's like easy and it's got kind of a road. You know what I mean? It's not really a road, but it's like a path people use. So it's a lot more simple. On your way along on this wonderful ride with your sled dogs, you see, big fluffy white yaks with like big horns like hanging out in the snow fields. And you make your way almost to Bryn Shander. You can see the walls and everything like in the distance. And you pass by these three small figures, these three like shorter figures, these dwarves, who are bundled up so tight that like you can only see their eyes. Even their beards are like underneath like big scarves and stuff. They're just like very, very bundled up, and you can see as you're passing that they have ice picks instead of like they don't have like clubs or anything or any like visible weaponry. They've got like ice picks. And as you're passing by, one of them calls out and goes, "Hey, wait up a sec." Do you guys stop for the dwarves or
Do we stop for them?
Yeah, run them down.
Sure.
Get them all.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Ronald.
should
Yeah,
probably
we
stop.
should probably stop.
Nice slow down.
Okay, all right, cool. So as you slow down, the dwarves like do a little jog to like catch up to where the sled got to in the time that they were behind you, and they go, "You look like you can handle yourself. Cute.
We were handling ourselves going.
We got a bit of a problem. I'm hoping." And he talks like in a way that suggests that he's a little bit deaf. You know what I mean? Like, like that he's been near too many explosions. Everything is a little bit like loud and sort of declarative.
Why
there a
are you
cave in?
yelling?
And he goes, no, not cave-in. But we lost our sled in the snow. The Yeti came out of nowhere and drove us off it, and we kind of need to get it back. It's got a whole bunch of iron on it for Bryn Shander, and we were just going there to get some help. You guys are probably still about half an hour out of Bryn Shander, by the way.
About
guess
where did
my
your sled get? Is it like buried or is it broken? What's the state of it?
Don't know, but the Yeti got one of us. and we got the hell out of there. I tell you what. If you can get the iron back for us, I'll give you, each of you, a gem from the mine. It's real nice gems. And he like takes a little gem out and like shows you, and it looks shiny and valuable and diamond shaped.
And because we're all on the sled, I just kind of like quietly say, "Oh, the easiest money we're ever gonna make. Let me just sort this out. Which way? Yetis. Where they at?"
Oh,
Yes.
halfway. It's sort of in that direction. He like points that way, and you can see in the distance the mountain Kelvin's Cairn, the one you've just been to, like
Oh, dang it.
right there. It's like in between that mountain and here, like it's not too far from
Wait,
where we are.
Just a moment. And I'm going to use my ability of dual mind. Not dual mind, sorry. Mental discipline, nope. Mind link, that's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah.
To any creature you can see.
Okay.
Provided that creature is within a number of feet of you equal to 10 times your level, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to share a language, but you are using this trait to speak telepathically to a creature. As Rattle is sort of talking to these dwarves, with that, using their mind link, they kind of cover their faces, like their mouth, as though they're thinking. And to Bursa, they say, "The dwarf with the blue boots might be who they're talking about. In which case, their friend is dead."
Oh.
I mean, the guy that you're that's yelling at you has already confirmed that one of them died.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing a sled up there, do you?
No.
What?
Can I inside check the guy?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And as soon as I've done that telepathic link with Bursa, I do the same thing with Vidrox.
3.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. He lost a sled and he needs it back, and it's full of iron.
In Yeti, I'm gonna say to Rattle. Okay, when you say easy money, do you mean just kill this guy and take that one gem and keep going?
Oh, I was gonna get it back.
I'm also going to do a quick insight check.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Good lord.
Yeah, he has.
Sorry.
He has
Fuck,
a.
though.
In fact,
Siobhan, I'm sorry. I feel like I did this to you.
in fact,
It's okay, but I am telepathically conveying we saw the dwarf with the blue boots up there. They were dead. Did we see a sled? I'm basically conveying the same message to Vidrox that I did to Bursa.
We didn't explore all of that cavern, did we?
No, you did.
No.
Pretty much.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we
Doesn't
didn't
much so.
see anything up there.
No, nothing that would be sled-like. There's no reason to think it would be up the mountain either, because these guys were coming to Bryn Shander with this sled, right?
Oh, there's a chance the sled. Okay, got it.
You guys
Gave
saw some dwarves on your way, like a dwarven
Oh, that's right.
place, like a
We
place
passed a
where
little dwarf
dwarves-
cave, and I was
where
like, no,
dwarves-
don't go there.
A place where dwarves live, and it's a good guess that they're probably coming from there.
Yeah.
And you said your sled was somewhere between here and there?
Yeah. We had to hoof it on foot. It was kind of. We figured Bryn Shander was the closest place to find help, get it back.
All right, let's do it. I mean, if everyone.
I can promise you that if you get it back, not only will you get the gemstones, but we'll be real good friends. You know, like all the dwarves will hear about it.
Sure.
Right.
No, I don't know. I don't think I make the decisions here.
I'm here for it. We can try.
How you feeling, Vidrox? I can't quite work out yet what your motivations are like. So
Ooh.
That's intentional. I am okay with that. Why not?
Let's go sled hunting. Does your sled have any dogs?
Probably not anymore. Yeti attacked it.
Fair enough.
Yetis don't hurt dogs. No one hurts dogs in this setting.
I think sled dogs
Don't
are
be
a
silly.
little
They just ran
different.
off.
Yeah. They ran
Yeah,
away.
fair enough.
They ran away.
Likely they ran back home and are back with the.
They're just lapping cider by a warm fire.
With
Well,
All
the
drunk.
dwarf goes, with any luck, and then he goes, you come find me in Bryn Shander. Once you're done. My name is Hruna. This is Korux and Storn.
Hruna?
Hruna, yeah, Hruna.
Why are you? Yeah, I don't care. Let's go. Yep. Oop, that's not.
Gems.
And
gems
as they're going away, I think that Yashavon explains to Bursa how mining works and what it can do to people's hearing.
Mm.
It makes them unaware of the volume of their voice when they can no longer hear themselves speaking.
It's obnoxious.
Unfortunately, the poor soul probably can't help it and has no idea.
Mm.
I wonder if that had happened to me before I died, I'd be in the same situation.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that's
Do you
interesting.
you said you don't remember how you died? Do you remember who you were before you died?
No.
I'd like to believe that I killed you.
That would be a great coincidence, wouldn't it?
It would. Just an owlbear attack.
quietly writes into backstory.
And I think that's the first time she mentioned she's been an owlbear. And continues to go.
I think Yashvan just goes, that explains everything. in their own mind. They're just like, okay then.
So,
Well then.
you,
I guess we'll be talking about that later.
as you're making the trip, the weather gets way worse, like super duper worse, like definitely not great at all levels of weather. And the snow thickens to such a degree that you can see only like probably about 20 feet in front of you. Which is, not helpful in general. But you make your way, and as you do, you find that there is in fact a dead dwarf in the snow. Some dwarven body has been absolutely viciously ripped apart by nasty something. If anybody
Does this
wants
dwarf body also have blue boots?
They do not have blue boots, no.
Hmm.
If anybody wants to do any like survival check or anything to like figure out what's going on here, then you're welcome to do so.
Can I do an investigation
Natural
of the body?
20 on survival.
Oh, natural 20 on survival. What was that, Aki?
I was just gonna do an investigation check on the body.
You can also do that. Yeah. Give me that too.
Gosh, my rolls today.
Aki, it's pretty clear to see, or Yeshavon, it's pretty clear to see that the body has been ripped apart by a Yeti at some point in the last, hour. The thing that Bursa notices, however, is that in the snow, there are the telltale tracks of a sled that has been moved somewhere. You can see, sled tracks in the snow. Even with the blizzard, it's been fairly recently moved. And beside the sled tracks are lots of smaller tracks. Lots and lots of smaller tracks. Like a bunch of small humanoids have grabbed this thing and dragged it somewhere.
Okay. Like dwarves?
I mean, a little smaller than dwarves. Like the boot prints are smaller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do I know, what could make those tracks?
You're pretty sure it's goblins.
Okay.
You know from your time as an owlbear that goblin parties do bring big wagons out here and steal things.
Yeah.
Basically.
The little ones. The green stealers. Garblins.
Oh, those?
Not Ob. Wait, never mind. It's fine. It's fine.
Garbins.
Goblins.
That's what I said.
Doesn't matter. We'll just go and kill them.
Oh, I mean, sure. Sure. Apparently, these are not the good kind of goblins. I've met a couple of pretty amiable, wonderful goblins in my time.
I'd like to go over to this unfortunate corpse
Of course.
and just grab like I don't know, a hat or a piece of clothing or something, like a rag off of it.
Something off of him, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
I'll
like
go over. Sure.
looks
Sorry.
like a male dwarf. The head is missing, as often is the case with Yeti murders.
That's the game.
And yeah, he's got the same kind of winter gear as the other three that you saw. And that's it. You grab his ice pick maybe, because they all seem to have like these distinguished ice picks.
Yeah. Head over to the drugs and I'll just be like, this is how do we do this, right?
I suppose.
Are you
But
not
here's the thing.
satisfied?
I am not here to tell you how you should do things to appease to my interests. I just had a particular feeling when we did not communicate before we did things, and then we reveled in it. Those were the issues.
Who wants to do some goblin hunting?
Hey.
Sure.
Yep.
Lead the way.
Okay, so
I have a feeling a lot of Yashivon's job will be, let's target that anger in the right direction. Okay, here we go.
with a 23 survival, you can of course follow the tracks left by these goblins. They're not being stealthy or hiding their method in any way, and they have clearly like pulled this thing along in the snow. And eventually, you catch up to them, and you see. The creatures that you're following appear to be goblins, which you already knew, based on their stature. All 6 of them groan, grunt, and curse loudly as they haul the bulky sled towards what appears to be a 20-foot-tall wagon parked in the snow. Harnessed to the wagon are 2 roaring polar bears that don't look happy. So you... let me just change to the right map here. I've got to like move you across several maps as usual.
Everybody. Wait, what?
Okay.
Also, I could not help myself, Dave. When you said poor unfortunate corpse, I immediately sang in my head, poor unfortunate corpse. Very nice.
I didn't realize I was making a reference. Glad I did.
So you find
it just fits so well.
So you find yourselves once again in the snowy tundra. I know it's a little treeier than I have described it, but just use your imagination.
What's our sky looking like? Are we in twilight or dark? Those are our options.
It is dark. The weather is also pretty rough, so like there will be penalties to some things.
Noise.
But you can see the goblins ahead of you dragging this sled, and apparently they've decided to drag it sideways because they're a bunch of idiots towards the wagon that you can see down on the left there. Those horses are polar bears, just so you know.
Yoo-hoo!
the goblin at the back like turns around at the noise and goes like, ah, we got company, like yelling. And
I would like to chuck my dorada at them.
Does anybody speak goblin? Just before I start narrating what goblins are saying, before anybody...
That's a fair point.
I don't think I'd have any reason to.
Is goblin descended from giant?
It is not.
I didn't think so.
So you just hear the goblin, like, yell out, and everybody's gonna have to roll initiative before any attack rolls happen, because because you went, hi there, instead of just doing something, so they all know.
Right, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, sorcerer initiative.
Is the tracker clear and stuff?
Hang on, let me.
I believe I saw it clear.
Where is
when
it?
Last I seen
I closed it and now I've lost it because I'm the worst. There we go.
Yeah, me too.
Found it.
Oh yeah, I'm already on there.
Let me
Gabe.
remove
I need
Clear.
your actual game
Okay,
to come from
it
me,
is
'cause I rolled
clear.
low.
All right.
It is now clear.
Let's roll, everyone. Sorry, we just got to make sure that that's there, so we don't.
Oh wait, do we get to
focus.
try again? Oh,
You
thank God.
sure do.
16 squad. Let's do it.
Oh, okay. Still
I
last,
want-
but it feels better.
It's like
No.
you flip
I'll
it
take it.
over.
Still last, but it feels better.
I want last. No!
Do you? Oh.
Okay. Goblin initiative time.
Goblins.
The opposite of last.
I know, it's the worst.
I'm so not
And I have a
used.
-1.
I'm so not used to commanding NPCs.
Oh God.
We can.
I,
Gabe
I
knows a lot
personally,
about
I
this
like
stuff.
horde mechanics. I like
Yeah.
when they all act at once. So if they
Yeah.
all go first, I mean they're a bunch of skittery little monsters anyways.
I rolled a bunch of initiatives for him. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We're level 2. If all the goblins go 1st
You'll
in
die.
horde, we die.
What do you mean you'll die? What, they'll
We'll
die.
die.
I got
I don't
cure
wanna die.
wounds,
The
healing hands, 19
the,
AC.
The action economy of all the goblins acting at once on an initiative that is good is a little bit too much for me. So I just like
That's
to do it.
fair.
I like to do it individually.
Sorry, can we live in a world where Burza just casts mage armor first thing in the morning, so I don't have to like say it?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Also, I apologize for interrupting with something that's related, but like obviously points out to the fact that I was distracted and looking at my phone. But there's fan art of Yeshivon.
Oh my god, it started.
Hooray!
Love to
Nice.
see it.
Look at it. It's so
You've done
good.
We're a real campaign now.
I
Okay.
love them.
All right. Goblins are attacking you.
Uh-oh.
So Goblin gets to go first. And he's not happy about anything to do with this, so he's just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 run up and attack Bursa with their tiny little scimitar. Scimitar
Oh, that
attack.
Feels bad. Cool,
Here it
cool, cool,
comes. Does a 6 hit you? I don't think
cool.
it
It does
does.
not.
So he whiffs, he runs up and he like trips in the snow and face plants into the snowdrift in front of you. Scimitar like flat into the snow, and he like picks himself up quickly before you get to do anything. But next goblin, this fellow, he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves over here, pulls out a short bow and shoots at Verdrux. Did I close my goblin? I did. I'm gonna have to keep track of this
Goblins
better.
are for closers.
Goblins are for closers. Does a 16 hit you? Yes,
Nope.
or Verdrux, sorry. It does not. Okay. Whiff. Once again, a whiff. And now, Verdrux, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to take a swing with my great axe right into the goblin that's standing right there.
Okay.
All right. So this is, excuse me, not a battle axe because it is the one-handed. 17 to hit
17 hits.
for 9 slashing damage.
The goblin is
Ew,
immediate.
look, goblin.
The goblin is immediately slain. So
Slain.
So this goblin goes, runs up to you with the scimitar, swings a bursa, misses, falls in the snow, and you just beat him with an axe, and he's dead. Like 1 second.
And then I'm going to like tap my shield and cast Shield of Faith to bump my AC up by 2.
Heck yeah.
And I'm going to look at Bursa. Now, have fun. And I take 2 steps to the right.
Okay. Yeshivon, you're up next.
Yeah, give me just a second. Gonna take a quick measurement here.
No worries.
Just want to see. All right, so Yeshivon is going to move a bit closer to our goblin-y friends here. I'm going to take a measurement again. I'm probably too close and can back up here.
I have to care.
Nah, that's good right there.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna do this.
Cloying Darkness. You reach out to the king of shadows, make a range attack with attacks. Take 2d8 necrotic damage and Constitution save if it fails. Visual. Or they're enveloped in shadows. Blah. Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. Range spell attack that hits 2d6 necrotic damage and saving throw. I will make a Constitution saving throw. Which goblin are you hitting? Sorry.
I'm gonna go for this one. It's the closest to me. Sorry, this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me make a Constitution saving throw. Hiya! What is your DC?
14.
He does not make his saving throw, so roll your Oh, you rolled your damage. 8
Yep.
damage. He's dead. Immediately killed
F
by your
for
spell.
that.
Immediately killed by your spell.
F.
Thank you.
Very, very dead. Rattle, you are next.
Like it was less than 5 minutes. We just said about communicate. You know what? Never mind. Just like combat roll into this like foliage. I'm gonna try and hide in here.
Okay.
Would you like me to make individual stealth rolls each time I hide, or how would you like to handle that?
How does hide work? That's how we should handle it.
It's it's stealth against perception,
Go ahead.
and they
roll.
should all technically roll every time, but that's a bit.
I
You
mean,
can pass a perception.
roll stealth and all.
Besides, rogues and stealth are just ridiculous most
Yeah,
of the time.
you-
See, 25
Yeah.
at level 2.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
cares?
you hide. You hide from the goblins.
All right, sweet deal. I'm gonna unhide as well because I'm gonna shoot one.
I figured that might be the case.
Let's take out. Who's this boy? Ooh, hello. He looks like a special friend. But for the time being, actually no, we've got melee people. This guy at the back.
Okay.
Bump, 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 bump. Good thing I'm hidden because it's 21.
Yeah, 21 is a hit. Roll your damage.
Wow.
That's a dead goblin. Dead goblin.
That is a very dead goblin.
Nice.
Bing. Oh,
So,
hey. That worked out pretty well.
so there's a couple of goblins that you can see people moving around in the like 20-foot wagon down in the other side where the polar bears are. And they 100% just like peek out from little slats in the wagon and hold their action. They're just hanging out, just waiting. This goblin is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 run up to Yeshivon and attack with his scimitar. Goblin scimitar attack. Hiya! Does a 10 hit?
No.
Does a 10 hit you?
I believe not. No.
I don't think so. So he whiffs the scimitar attack. Your go, Bursa.
Sweet. Versus gonna do a firebolt. Ugh. 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Yeah. All right.
Bonk. Here he is. Special guy.
That's it.
What's his deal? Is he just more healthy?
So,
'Cause that's what it's really fun.
so this goblin steps up and like takes cover sort of behind the wagon. He looks a little different. This goblin has what looks like one ear. And they look a little bit like they're kind of in charge around here. And they yell out in common. We can still talk about this!
Okay.
I love an enterprising negotiating goblin. Love this. What is there to talk about? You stole a sled from people you had no business stealing from.
Is that what we're mad about?
Are we
was
set?
already
Is
dead.
anybody
It's
else
fine.
okay? Before we start talking like an actual conversation, because free action to talk, but whatever. Is anybody else still pursuing the like I am murdering every goblin I see angle? Because if everybody sort of like steps back, then the goblins will also step back. But if not, we have to keep going in initiative order.
If we want to, I won't.
Okay,
But for
cool.
Drux
Well,
is
Even the goblin.
No, Yeshivon isn't seriously trying to negotiate with these goblins. But I mean, like, if they're gonna try and talk, like,
I mean,
Yeshivon's
you know,
willing to listen
you get a
because Yeshivon likes to talk.
You get a couple of yells back and forth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where you say like, well, you stole something, and he's like, we didn't steal nothing. It was in the snow. Nobody even been around.
Well, now it's in the snow, and unless you leave, no one will be around.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to you. We're taking it back.
Doesn't belong to us either.
Look, I want to cut something in half. It's either going to be you or it's not going to be you. That is your choice.
They go like, we can make a deal for it. Like trying to
What
negotiate,
kind of deal?
even though you're like, I'm going to kill you, and everybody around they're like, I'll probably lose. So you know,
I'm like swinging my axe into a tree as this conversation is happening because I want to keep slashing at something.
Okay.
He's on a roll. Just let him get. Let
Well,
him
I'm
get
just
this
saying
out.
we
He's
can
really
just let
scary.
him kill the
Please.
Garbins. They're not great. Sorry, what's the word you use? Goblin.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter.
Goblin.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
all
Kill
right,
them
so,
or don't.
So everybody's kind of on the like, well, we don't need to negotiate with these goblins because we're gonna kill them all anyway. Train. All right.
I'm going to ask what they have to offer.
All of this iron. Well, we give it to you if you give us like food. Like enough food.
Well,
I would like.
don't you have animals pulling the other cart? You have food.
Yeah, I need those for the cart.
I would like to.
I'm not getting the food for me. I'm getting the food for the fortress.
I want them to come out and speak to me.
Are you gonna give them like a?
I'm not going to kill him, but I want him to have a conversation with me.
Okay. Well, I mean, if the fighting has ceased, he like stands up from behind the wagon, all like, "Okay, yeah, good, yeah, we'll talk about this like civilized. Sorry, Smaz. It really sucks that we started this after you died." Like talks to the corpse for briefly, and then like turns over to Vidrux, like steps out a little bit over here.
I'm going to look at the rest of the party. Do we actively care about the gems? Is that something that we really want?
I'm gonna look at Yeshivon because
Yes.
I'm not really convinced what the use of gems are yet.
Gems can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah, we learned.
Yeshivon kind of looks at Bursa and goes, look, just in general, getting nice shiny things is usually a good thing and means that we can get better, nicer, shinier things later on. Things that will help us become stronger.
By the
Or-
way, these goblins are dressed in a fashion that they really should have more cold weather gear. They're like, you know, this guy's missing an ear, and it's probably from frostbite, basically.
Can goblin like in this area? Can goblins go into town?
No, but they have their own like fortress, so they don't really
Okay.
want to anyway.
Okay.
You would have heard of it because you're a local hero, right?
Yeah, folk hero.
So you would have heard of it. I have the name of the fortress. They're from a fortress called Karkalok.
That like looking at them, that actually gives Yeshwan an idea. How about this? You come with us to return this sled to its rightful owners, and you can have the gems and use them to buy yourself something a little bit better for yourself.
I don't want that.
The
I don't want it.
goblin's like, we don't go near the towns.
All right, I gave you a chance. Go ahead, Vidrux.
I will let you keep half of the iron for a life debt.
What? Okay, sure, yeah. Isabel.
No, all of you.
Oh,
What are you gonna do with the life debt?
I'll figure
It's
out
like
later.
how you want a pet dog.
That's the fun. of
Oh,
he
can
looks
I
over.
also have a life debt.
He looks over to the goblins, like all around him, and everybody's like looking at him and going like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, like nodding, and they have a quick conversation in Goblin that sounds like there's a little bit of argument, but that mostly it's just like, this is free, you know what I mean? Like, is the way that it seems to come out. And when Bursa says, "Can I have a life debt too?" They're like, whatever. And the leader goes, okay. So, yeah, we get the iron. And you
Half.
get half the iron. That's fine. Half the iron, and you get life debt from each of us.
And I get one from that one, and I want to point at this one.
So specific. Okay.
Why do you want him so much?
Don't ask why.
The goblin
Only
you're pointing.
give.
The goblin you're pointing at, while Izabai, this goblin, thumbs at him. The camera sort of shifts to this goblin you've specified, and in the moment of the camera looking at him, he is like busy getting the biggest booger you've ever seen, like the frozenest booger you've ever seen, like out of his like nose, like he has the worst cold in history.
Oh, my son, I love him. Yes.
It's like partially frozen.
Yeah.
Out of his nose.
Yeah, exactly. He's like trying to like get it out. Yeah.
Dude,
Christ,
you have
love
to
it.
plug
Gross.
and blow.
Gross. Can we? Let's,
Yeah,
all right.
he looks over. He's like, okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Are any of you a wizard, by the way?
Nope.
Do you have any wizards back in your fort?
In the fortress, probably.
I pull out the book and give it to Isabar.
Izabai. Like,
Izabai. Thank you.
Izobai. Or I.
Got it.
Which I guess you'll need to know because you have a debt with them now. Izabai takes the book and is like, cool. Yeah, this and the iron?
Yes, this and half the iron. And then there may be something that we require of you later.
Sure. Yeah. We agree 100%. You can take the iron, but you have to take it off the cart. We need the cart.
That's fine.
I want the goblin. I'm calling in my life debt now.
What? I need him for the fort.
You already promised. Come to me, booger goblin. You are my man.
He's looking at you like terrified of the possibility. Like he's like doesn't understand what is happening.
I give Isabai a gold for the goblin.
Why are you paying? The debt was already settled. Take the gold.
Because it's how you create a good business.
So you give a gold to Izabai, and Izabai turns to the other goblin who you know.
I guess I give the goblin a gold actually. That seems less bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Dude, I was about to X card this just a little bit because it.
Yep, I agree. Realized. Didn't like it.
All right.
Nope.
Backtrack.
Yes.
You give gold to I guess
Not Goblin.
You don't know his name right now. He's just gonna be Booger. You give gold to Booger.
Oh no!
It's not Boogie.
And he goes like, okay, and he like nods, and Izabai nods at him, and all the other goblins nod at him like, yeah, no, this is what you have to do. Like, there's a little conversation in Goblin that is clearly like, we all want to live. so they like nudge him towards you, and he stands in front of Bursa like,
Ursa like doesn't. Once that has happened, she doesn't like continue interacting with it. She doesn't continue watching.
Aww. He clearly doesn't speak any common, by the way. Like,
Oh no!
he is not a common speaking goblin.
That's fine.
I'm gonna
You
start
will
picking up,
teach him.
picking up the iron. Oh god!
You're gonna teach the goblin common.
So
This
Hey,
is my
Alright,
goblin.
if Wizards wants to give us early access to those sidekick rules,
so
Oh,
You
that
say
common
sidekick, I
Tasha's.
say
So-
Ursa got a dog.
so terrible. But so anyway, Izabai lets you guys like pick the iron off the caravan if you want, or off the sled if you want. But like iron ingots are fairly heavy, so unless you're less strong, and I know you are because we have Bursa and we have Fedrux and they're strong. You can carry. There are like 300 iron ingots, so there are like 150 iron ingots to pick up.
That's fair.
Which is
it's-
a nasty amount.
It's gonna be trying to like use the rope to essentially. Well, actually, I have a net. Putting them in a net and then tying my net to my rope.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're gonna like sort of like basket them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh my God, yes, Yeshivon could use mind talk to our no language friend. Chat just said that, and I'm
Yes,
mind
Yeah, I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
think it doesn't matter if
I might as
they
well.
can't understand me.
That is true.
Turn them into
So
your
I
assassins.
think that the fact that they don't speak common does make Yeshvan a bit curious, and they sort of like look at the goblin and then kind of just like with using their telepathic abilities, kind of go, "Don't worry, we're not going to hurt you, and besides, you probably have a lot of fun with us."
He seems reassured. You guys are a tough party of adventurers who kick ass. Like
That's
you're
fair.
you're better than these goblins that he's with. So like
He's probably
Plus
gonna
we
be-
can get
so
yeah,
like
plus we can get you much better coverings than you're wearing.
he's got more money in his hand than he's ever possessed in his whole life. That one
That's
gold.
true.
Like you guys, in adopting a goblin, you have given him a step up by like 3 or 4 steps in goblin society.
I want to look down at Boogie and then over at Yeshvan.
Boogie!
His name is Boogie. And over at Yeshvan, and then Bursa just shakes her head. Like, I don't know what they told you.
Boogie looks up at you like, like, I just got this nice message from Yeshvan, and now you're telling me no? Kind of think there's a little bit of that.
And she starts laughing. That's fine.
But so anyway,
We're gonna be like those parents though that people like the kids will be like, I want to do this, and like one parent will say no, and then they'll go to the other parent because they know the other parent will say yes. That's gonna be this goblin with you and me.
That's called puppy guarding. It's great.
So
I'm just gonna give him a knife.
just give him a knife. He's already got like a little scimitar and a little shield.
Ah,
you know?
nah, keep it then.
So Isabai packs up the rest of the ingots and like puts them into the big cart with the polar bears attached to it, and goes like, settle the debt at the fortress if you need me. Isabai and Isabai's gang. Okay?
Maybe
Got
we
it.
should have negotiated for at least one of the polar bears.
And Isabai and the goblins in the wagon with half the iron get the hell out of there. Like
We'd have to feed the polar bears.
yeah.
I mean, if the polar bears were originally attached to the sled in the first place, the dwarves would have had to feed them, not us.
Yeah. Meh.
Polar bears are a stupid animal.
Wow, you have so much rage towards anything that lives.
Oh, that's not rage. That's simply a fact. Mhm.
So I finally emerged from the trees, probably startling the hell out of this goblin. I was like, I'm a skeleton.
Ah!
Don't
That
worry, he's with us. Or sorry, they're with us.
Yeah, but Boogie
That
is
is not how I expected
Boogie
that
is
to
of
go. Is everyone
indeterminate
happy?
gender.
Are we good? Did you get something out of that? That
I
was
put them-
very odd.
I put them on Bursa's shoulders to sit like a kid on like the shoulders.
What? I don't put it. You weren't carrying a dog on your shoulders. Why are you doing this to Boogie?
The
Boogie-
goblin
You're-
is not a dog, Bursa. The goblin is a sentient.
Bursa's
being.
holding them like by the scruff of their coat,
They have
and they're
yeah.
like kicking and trying.
Yeah.
they're slightly different from a dog, in that they have personhood to them.
Lately.
Dogs have personhood.
There no
Boy
that's-
had feelings.
feelings are not personhood.
What's okay? You're using a
In-
word that I'm
in-
uncomfortable with.
In any case, treating a goblin the same as you would treat a dog.
We treat
well,
the dogs very well. What is the problem?
Wow.
there is a distinction, a slight distinction here.
I love this polymorphed like perspective
Yeah.
discussion. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, I wanted to have this.
great.
Like,
I just wanted to like say
an owlbear.
I just wanted to like say, even if it may present awkwardly, that I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a slight distinction here, but I guess coming from the perspective of somebody who is, if I heard that correctly earlier, was once an owlbear, then that
Is an owlbear.
Consider it a view of sentience.
as an owlbear who I guess presents in this form. I guess you have a different insight than we would on the way animals feel. But
You were slower to slaughter dogs than goblins, and yet goblins cannot be treated like dogs.
well, there's a difference between the goblin and the dogs, because the goblins are capable of making choices for themselves, and dogs are trained to follow their instincts and their
You are
master's
trained to
commands.
follow an instinct to enjoy shiny things and trade those shiny things for more shiny things.
The
for their
goblin spoke to us in a language that we could understand, thus it changed our perspective. It's no different than the crag cat versus the dogs. Neither spoke, but the way the crag cat acted was hostile. Thus it died and there was no respect. But the goblins showed that they were capable of speech in a way that was in our favor, so to speak. So it is returning that sentience with a sense of respect. We would not treat a
Acknowledge sentience
non-speaking
when it
skeleton.
agrees with you. Understood. And I put Boogie down.
We would not treat a non-speaking skeleton the way we treat Rattle.
How do you treat me? I'm still working it out.
So am I.
So Boogie, when you put Boogie down,
Yeah.
they give an indignant sort of like grumbling, like they're super embarrassed because they've just been like flailing in the air with no possible escape, and they just like dust the snow off of themselves a little bit and like
I'm gonna offer some of my jerky to Boogie.
snatches it and eats it like he hasn't eaten anything good in 3 days.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't. That being said, listening to what Burza said has actually made Yeshvan a bit contemplative. And so, like, as they're all like kind of making their way back to the dwarves,
Yeah, because you've managed to get half the iron, so that's
Yeah, that feels
something.
good.
Yeah.
they're basically kind of having a telepathic conversation with Boogie and getting to know them a little bit better, but also just very curious about Bursa as they go.
Oh, but Drux also says before we get there, also, to be very clear, we are lying to them. We found half of the silver and that was it. And this goblin
Iron.
guided us to it. Iron, yes.
Thank you for the clarification.
Deception, Bertha, deception.
Damn, we're coming back with a goblin. That makes it so much weirder.
What? Yeah, what are you gonna do with Boogie? Like when?
How are we going to get into towns?
Yeah, you want.
I'm just gonna put.
This is a very
when you say that,
short-sighted.
when you say that, I'm just gonna put a little burlap bag over Boogie and just go.
Oh yeah,
Do I
okay,
host?
yeah.
Hold on. Just
Eye holes?
Oh,
no,
the
like
mean-
literally, just like I'm like gonna be like laid down. I kind of put him on the side, like lay down, and then just put a little bag over him as we interact with the dwarves.
Oh, so you're just hiding him under a blanket, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
it's not mean. It's just
I just wanted to check.
be hide.
And I know that some of the limitations of our lines and veils were like fantasy racism, so I'm trying to be sensitive to the goblin situation. But yeah, the towns are not great about things that have been hostile to them in the past. It's like letting a pack of wild wolves in. The goblins will cause as much trouble.
If we can hide a skeleton as a person, we can make the goblin look like people too.
Oh, totally.
You just use a bag.
He's like halfling sized.
You use the bag. It's not a person.
I didn't use the bag. I just put it over. I was assuming like a blanket situation of like
Okay.
put something over him to deal with the dwarves because you said we were doing a lie.
Yeah.
So
I'm helping.
So they don't see the goblin. Okay.
So,
Yes.
So you make your way back to Bryn Shander, and you need to like enter the town to find the dwarves. They're not like hanging out outside Bryn Shander waiting for you. Let me just find my Bryn Shander page here real quick. My compendium Bryn Shander page.
What if the goblin is big enough to just like fit in the backpack on your back?
So there is when you get into Bryn Shander, you hear about a tavern called the North Look, which is a rowdy kind of place with lots of adventurers and it is probably the most frequented tavern in the entirety of 10 towns, so it's fairly famous. Bryn Shander is also the biggest town by far. It is like the most metropolitan of the towns, if that makes any sense. But it's still small by comparison with any other city. Very much a small place. But the dwarves are waiting for you in the Northlook. When you enter, if I'm assuming that you do, feel free to stop me at any time, friends.
I like that we now have a supply of like goblin mercenaries to hire, or like goblin hirelings.
And if you want to get in contact with Isabai, I will let you know how to do so.
I kept that was actually my original intention in keeping my goblin friend, keeping Boogie. The Boogie could lead us back to the fortress if we ever
Boogie being around does know where the fortress is. It's true.
Yeah.
Mechanically, who's in charge of Boogie?
It's my life deck. Can I have Boogie?
Sure, you can have Boogie.
Thanks.
So
Hail and well met.
So you enter the tavern, and it is like a very sort of like rough and tumble tap room kind of vibe. Nice warm fire, good lighting. It's like a very different place than like the Luskin Arms or the Three Flags. Like it's sort of like better, more upscaled. And the three dwarves are sitting by on one of the tables, and they've got their winter gear off now, so you can see their like big bushy beards, and one of them seems to be missing like most of his fingers from one hand, and it's clearly like frostbite. And one of them seems to be like super happy that he's indoors. Like he's like got a nice mug in front of him, and he's like very relaxed, like kind of sitting there talking with his friends. But so you approach, and they go like. Or the main guy you've been talking to, the sort of deaf one, looks up and goes, "So, did you find it?"
Well, we found some of it. Unfortunately, it looks like there was a scuffle of some kind. We found this one face deep in the snow and looking like he was a little worse for wear.
Ublek's dead, right? The other dwarf?
Yeah, they're very, very dead.
Can I get a deception check from you, Yashiman? Because you are straight up lying.
I am.
It's in this moment that Bursa's like, I should have taken the dwarf's clothes. Natural one.
But why though?
No.
I have this amazing charisma, and what for?
Yeah, welcome to me playing a bard in the last campaign. Like, I'm good at lying, but the dice disagree.
So Haruna gives you a skeptical look, like, that one? And I'm assuming you're referring to our goblin friend.
Wait, you're pointing at the goblin? What are you doing?
Yeah, Ursa was gonna hide it.
Oh, sorry. Then I completely misread that situation, and that's my bad.
All good.
Yeah, sorry.
So he goes like,
I don't. Then the goblin's not mentioned, but basically it's like, this is what we found, and it looks like otherwise there was some sort of big kerfuffle that like we don't really know what happened, but we did find some of your iron, kind of a thing.
So he looks at you like he doesn't entirely believe you, because obviously it's like you do know what happened. Goblins took it. But
They told us Yetis took it, didn't they?
No, they said Yetis attacked them.
Yetis attacked them.
Which seemed to be true because one of them was mauled by a Yeti.
Yeah.
But so he gives you a look that's like he's suspicious, but he's not gonna question it, if you know what I mean. Like, people lie all the time here, and like survival and whatever, they're all a little bit jaded. But he's like, so you didn't get the iron.
We did, but
We got half.
You got half.
Whoever, we did try.
We assume it's half because we don't know how much there was in total.
We got
It
some
just
of it
seemed
back.
like there was probably a pallet of 300 bars. So you know.
God, we suck.
Herna nods at Rattle like, that is the standard arrangement. You know, like yes.
In any case, the weather out there was...
It was really weird.
Yeah. In any case, we wandered around in that storm for a while trying to find the rest of it, since it obviously looked like it'd fallen off the back of the sled. But no dice, unfortunately. It got pretty bad out there.
So out of character, how comfortable is the party with trying to convince them, because there would still be blood on my axe probably, that we did come across a goblin that we interrogated and said that they could only carry half back. Are we comfortable with trying to play off that lie?
Oh.
It would make sense why we said half then.
I don't have a strong reason to say no, so I say just do it.
I mean,
Let's
what
go.
I will say.
I quite like that it was actually just a mistake. because
Yeah.
that's the natural one, and then we're just scrambling to try and.
Yeah.
What I will say is that he doesn't seem like super suspicious, to be honest. Like, you're lying to him, but if you got half the iron, then you've got half the iron, sort of thing. And what he wanted was the iron, so.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to, like, further get yourself in deep. What I would ask is that anybody preferentially, would make a persuasion, just for the, like, you know, seeing what he'll pay out, basically, because there's a couple of rewards, and, like, I need to decide what half of that looks like.
I mean, I could try, but I feel like since Rattle got in there a little bit, Rattle might want to try.
All right.
How's your? Oh wait, you have the worst charisma, and maybe not.
I'll do it.
I have a 5.
I'll do it.
I mean, feel free to do so. Whoever wants to. Like, I'm opening it up.
I'm gonna
whoever.
assist whoever's going to do this by just glowering at the dwarves.
Do you actually want to, Dave? Otherwise, I will. But if you actively want to,
It'd be fun. You have
No,
advantage.
it's fine.
okay.
Do it for
It's fine.
drugs.
Please do it. You are a moron.
That is a 14.
Okay. So he's like, well, the blacksmith in town's gonna be disappointed, you know. Don't think there's gonna be any, you know, don't think there's gonna be any discounts for you for half. But fair's fair. You bring me half, I'll pay you half. And he like gets out some gems, and hands them over. It's only 2 gems because there's 4 of you, and he said he'd give you 1 each, and half is half. So he hands you over some gems. Each of these gems is whatever gemstone you want it to be. I don't really mind. Worth 50 gold. Both of them are worth 50 gold each. And
I put them in my eye sockets. No, I didn't do that.
God.
That'd be quite funny.
I cast firebolt through it to make a laser show.
Like, but can we get a pretty sapphire? Sapphire?
sure, yeah, why not?
And the other one's an opal.
I assume we're just gonna sell these to the caravan
That's what I was assuming.
when we go there.
Yeah, for sure.
And-
We gonna get that gold.
Try and find an opportunity to
Give me
tell
gold
them that
to
we want
buy
to kill one of their friends.
Give me gold to buy clothes.
So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the end of the interaction between you and these dwarves. They're like, all right, well, we'll hope the other half will show up, but I'm not feeling like it will.
All right.
Yeah.
Pleasure doing business with you. See you around. Probably not.
Be safe out there. It's pretty treacherous.
There's loads of goblins.
We always do our best, you dwarves.
Have you seen? Wait, did we ask? Sorry, above game. Did we ask them about the caravan?
Not
Okay.
yet.
Not yet.
Bursa will lean in as we're getting up. Like, have you seen the caravan?
You mean Torgas?
Yes. Is it
Yeah,
here?
they're here in Bridgehander right now.
Where?
If you just head out and you go left, and they're set up in the market area.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
You yell a lot. She just gets up
She's
and
like,
leaves.
no. And he's like, no, I don't think I do.
I love him.
Sounds just fine to me.
What a good boy.
Go see a caravan.
Oh man, I must be losing my touch.
Okay.
By the way, that's another quest complete, my friends.
Yeah.
You don't level up because that would be silly. But that is
Disagree.
another that is the Bryn Shander town quest that you just did.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
Talk to
I
goblins
mean,
is a good quest.
completed is a very
well,
loose
yeah,
term
I mean,
for how that went.
completed.
Which-
There are a lot of loose ends that have nothing to do with anything that's written in the module that you were making me improvise. But you know what? That's
Sorry.
fine. I don't mind having.
Let's
a
give
little
this story
extra-
some extra depth.
I don't mind having a little extra zam in there. Yeah, you know, a little extra ziz.
I need clothing for Boogie. Can we
Need-
please handle that?
I need
Of course, certainly. We definitely don't need him freezing out here.
clothing for Boogie. Yeah, he doesn't look very well equipped. You know, he doesn't have like the cool ushankas that all the dwarves are wearing and stuff.
Should
I
have
was-
taken the clothes from the dead dwarf. But then
They
maybe
were a bit.
Vedrux would be mad at me.
But they were those would also have been a bit too large for our goblin friend.
So
In any case, wow, it has been a long time since I was that bad at telling a lie. I feel uncomfortable about that.
we probably should have talked about how we were going to handle it beforehand.
Hindsight. It's very good.
Please
Yes.
ask Boogie what color clothes he wants to wear.
Okay. Hey, Boogie, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Green? They like green.
Hey, Yeshavan.
Boogie, what their pronouns are, please.
Oh, yes. Boogie, what pronouns do we use for you?
What?
They, them, he, him, she, her, all of those work?
Whatever.
Cool.
Please ask what their name is.
And yes, can we also have your real name? Or we're going to be calling you Boogie for like now until the end of this campaign, and I don't think any of us can handle that.
He's not surviving to the end of
Hang
this campaign. He's
Hang
not
on.
surviving like 2 sessions.
I'm committed to
Excuse
this.
me, Dave.
Oh, it wasn't even rattle.
Even less hit points than I do.
My name is
I mean, you can
Usak.
try.
Usak?
Usak.
Usak.
U-S-A-K. Usak.
It is very nice to meet you, Usak. I am Yeshavan.
Is all of this happening telepathically?
And I'm like kind of speaking
Cool.
as I receive. the
I'm calling
information.
them Boogie. I will not be changed.
I mean, he doesn't. They literally don't. They literally don't understand your words, so they can't be offended by what you're calling.
There
them.
we go.
If you're interested in learning Common, I'm happy to teach you.
Are you still telepathically speaking with Usak? Hello, Usak. Yes. Usak says, how long will I be staying with you all? He like looks around from his hiding place like, this is dangerous. Like the town is scary.
Not entirely sure. I guess for as long as you continue to amuse Bursa.
Okay. Then maybe learn.
Cool. Let's get you some clothes and some food.
He seems they seem very enthused by the prospect of those things. Like, you say, let's get you some clothes and food, and they're like, oh, never mind, I'm not nervous at all, kind of like body language, like hell yeah!
Listen, I am also clothing and food motivated.
Yep.
Unless it's pants. And then we have problems because I don't want to wear those if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
I'm going to be spending the rest of the day before we do any other plot things.
Yep.
Just doing teaching rudimentary sign language to Usak.
You're just teaching
like,
Usak little hand gestures.
Yeah, like hungry, yes, no, and like scared.
Okay.
That's all I'm worried about.
Do you have like a skill we could roll to see how well?
Ooh, probably not, but we could
teach?
try.
Just because I'm interested, because it'll color the role play, right?
Yeah. Can it be a performance check? I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, you know what?
but-
Sure, why not? Why not? You're trying to like charades things.
Yeah, 15.
15 is pretty good. Yusaki turns out is like a pretty quick learner. Actually, they're very capable of remembering the things that you're telling them, especially when it has to do with like, getting more food or more money or more anything. Like
base needs.
They're just greedy and want stuff,
Cool.
and are motivated by that. So yeah, they get like the yes no.
It's a mood.
Kind of stuff.
It's a mood.
And let it be said that at any point when Usak like signs for food, Bursa will give whatever she has. Like there is no like withholding or
like very
ill will here.
like very free with it.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna end up with a very, very round Gerblin.
I would love a round Garbin.
and Usak does ask fairly frequently because goblins are just like endless stomachs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like locusts.
Sweet.
But so anyway, I'm assuming you're going to Torgas?
Yeah. We get clothes and some snacks and then go to Torga.
Okay, yeah, you outfit your tiny goblin
Yeah.
a little better, and they're looking a little less like they'll get frostbite out in the cold.
Our goblin with their cute green little coat
Yeah, like a green.
and boots and like a nice hat. I'm sorry. I want art of our goblin. They're very nice green winter gear.
Also,
In my
shout out
head.
to Boogie. Like, if Boogie didn't want to be called Boogie, Boogie wouldn't dress in the colors of a boogie, and that's on Boogie.
No, green is their favorite color because goblins are green and goblins are the best.
Yeah, and now they look like a warm little booger.
Okay. Great. I don't know how I got roped into this existing.
We're the worst. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I should have just killed the goblins.
No, it's cool. Don't worry. I can figure it out. And honestly, I like having a little bit of a creative, not written down thing that I can mess with.
Those goblins are gonna save our lives one day.
Yeah, maybe. So you head off to the like merchant area. You've been in the merchant area for a while because you're like getting new clothes and like basic stuff. And there is in fact like a big caravan or like two sleds with like stuff on it, and there's like a wagon that has been opened and laid out as like a merchant's stall with a big flag above it with a black background and a gold like paw on it, which is the sign of Torga's enterprise. There's a dwarf lady, sitting behind the sort of stall wagon, looking over everything, and just to the left of her, you can see there is a human man standing in what looks to be he's wearing like a vest and like a short-sleeved shirt. You know what I mean? He looks like he should be freezing, but he isn't. And he's just got an eye cast around, like keeping an eye on everything. He's got kind of like a long hair and like a ponytail tied up. The dwarf looks like she's a million years old, and the like frown lines in her face are the most aggressive frown lines you've ever seen of anyone in the history of ever. So she's like manning the stall, and people are coming and buying things, and she's very businesslike about like get it done, move on, get it done, move on, kind of thing. Do you like sit and watch, or what? Like, what's your move here?
We have a moment to kind of talk amongst ourselves to plan our approach, I think. We probably did this sort of as we were walking up anyway. How do we want to catch this fool in the act of having done a murder, or 2 or 3?
It's 3 murders.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a weird mind thing. Can it read minds? Or like...
Actually, let me check. I don't think so. No.
Hire him to kill me.
That's actually a fairly solid plan.
Honestly.
Huh. That's bloody brilliant, the Drux.
You reckon you could take him? I mean,
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not about me winning, it's about me just not dying, basically.
And us catching him in the act of doing a murder.
Yes. I would like to trust all of you, and I do not yet. But I am willing to try.
You don't trust me, Vedrux?
You concern me sometimes.
Eyelashes flutter.
It is
So
because you are charming that you concern me.
So it's
Easy,
like
I am
where
very charming.
someone falls and you catch them, except you're going to be falling onto that man's sword, and we're trying to stop you from falling in that direction.
If that helps you rattle, then yes. It's exactly like that.
I thought we needed to ascertain whether or not this guy did murders first before we frame him for another murder and then kill him.
Yes, but if he says yes, he probably did.
How do we know he did those other murders for a price?
He comes and tries to kill me and fails, and we ask.
Fair enough.
Oh, so like capture.
Yes. I'm not going to kill him.
Oh, I never assumed you were.
Oh,
I did.
yes.
I did too.
I know
That's
you have
actually
it.
going to be fun. If you put it in a certain place, I can do a lot of trap. I wanted to use. Look, check it out. And I've got like from somewhere. I put out a pouch and I got like ball bearings and I got like caltrops and some string. I'm like, I want an opportunity to use these forever.
Actually, lead it this way. I will walk away from the rest of the group to be in the market in a very noticeable place. And you can say that there was a folk hero apparently causing trouble, and you all heard that he might be the one to come to about taking someone out.
Sounds good.
I'm going to leave that to you.
I'm sure to me.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. I have no problem flirting with a killer.
Shot.
Do you reckon I can get on one of these roofs?
Long distance shot of Sefik in the distance that I have no problem flirting with a killer with like a satisfied smirk on his face, like a total asshole.
Heck yes. Oh, we love it.
Well, I'll as we're walking and talking, I'll intentionally walk a bit ahead of the group, just so that I look like I'm walking by myself, but still close enough so I can hear conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to do the shopping at the cart before we cause the scene and the murder and stuff?
Oh, I was kind of eliding like the shopping sequence.
Yeah, we like sort of did it.
I meant like the cart might actually have stuff for us to spend the gold that we've earned on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Possibly.
You
Like
wanted
legit
something
stuff.
from the store. We're on our way.
We could possibly kill two birds with one stone, and
You
you
said
two.
we weren't killing.
It's a turn of phrase. It's not literal.
Mm.
Confusing like that. Yeah, I could do with some better armor.
Why
I
don't
want leather.
Why don't you two do a bit of shopping, and I can go and talk to Sefik, and Vadrex can just be over there being his very sexy self.
Mm. Then it can even look like you're tailing me.
I mean, never mind. I'm not going to say that. All right.
So proud of you.
Well, all right then.
We did smart.
So Elf, what is our situation if we do decide to go up and
Sorry, you're like
peruse the wares?
going to shop,
Yeah.
going to shop at Tor.
Yeah, what kind of like store is it really?
So it's sort of a general store, but it looks like some of the stuff is like randomly sort of more exceptional, but the prices are fairly high. Like when you're talking to Torga, she's selling things at a premium because it's stuff that people can't get easily. You know what I mean? She travels between the towns because she has the ability to, get her hands on stuff like, cut wood and blankets and oil and furs and bottles of wine and casks of ale and
Okay.
like that kind of medicines, like that kind of stuff. There's nothing like super adventure-y in her stash. She's like caters to the locals more than to people from out of town. And if you ask her about like weapons or anything, she'd point you to the blacksmith nearby in a grumpy fashion.
Oh, so some studs in this would be all right. Well,
Yeah,
thanks.
she's
Maybe
like,
we'll be back after.
I ain't gonna do that here, but if you go over to sorry, there's a name for this blacksmith that I need to give you because I am terrible at keeping all the tabs open that I need.
Harry's hammer.
No.
House.
It is Harry's Hammer House.
I don't know why that got me real
Reddy's
good.
Forge.
It is called the Black Iron Blades. She's like, you can get that stuff done over at the Black Iron Blades.
I knew it would be alliteration. I knew
Fine.
I was on the right track.
I feel like you were right, and you should get full points for this.
Okay. So, yeah, we've got this gold, and we don't kind of trust each other yet, but also we're players.
Mhm.
How would we like to handle this?
Personally, I'm fine just like shopping behind the scenes,
Yeah.
especially since we're like getting close to the end anyways.
Yeah, same here. I think we could like let you two kind of start that haggling process if you want to, and then like let it, and then maybe deal with it like later. I
I'm
don't
not.
care.
I'm not super interested in having to roleplay out
Dave,
haggling.
if you want to
If
upgrade
we
your
have the money.
leather to studded leather, you can do so
Yeah.
at the Black Iron Blades for the price of studded leather.
Awesome. Probably should have checked before. Is anybody writing down all the treasure that we got?
I 100% have not.
Yes.
Okay.
Gabe is taking all our notes.
Gabe's good.
Do you know
Okay,
how
you're the
much
best
we
of
kind of
us.
have in gold? Whether this is me taking a lot or
If it was because we got 100 from the gems.
And then we
um,
each got 10 from our little figurines.
yes.
all right. So it's 45 for studded leather.
And there you go. You can change one of the gems for it, basically. Like,
Yeah, if better
that's
better
cool.
armor keeps you from getting deaded, we're
Do
cool
it.
with that.
For sure.
All right. Can I trade in my
I
old
should
le-
say
no, it's
more
crap.
deaded than you already
no,
are.
they don't want your ripped up dead guy leather.
Yeah, I realized as I was saying it. All right. Appreciate that. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll
Of
course.
update that on my sheet.
Get
there's,
that upgrade.
there's plenty of other quests we could do.
Let me upgrade you.
Okay, cool. So, and if anybody else needs to do any basic upgrading, you can. There's nothing magical available or anything like that, but if you want a different weapon or a different armor, those things are available to you at reasonable prices. As long as you're not buying them from Torga, because she charges a lot for random other luxuries and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to see Yeshivon flirt with Sefik Kaltros. Are we gonna get that? Are we gonna get that
Do it.
that vibe?
Sure, let's do it.
want
Yeah.
Do you want to go by? Are you gonna go by yourself?
I mean, you can come with me if you want to.
It's more of a what you need to for that.
I don't need an audience.
Okay.
I don't mind the audience, but I don't need it.
And Bertha will just hang back.
Sefik's just doing guard work, he's standing there like looking all vigilant and stuff.
Excuse me. Are you by any chance Suffolk?
Why, yes, I am.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. I'm a Lauren.
Alarin. And why is it very nice to meet me? Not that I'm surprised.
Well, I've been having a little bit of trouble. And when asking around in certain circles, I happened to hear your name come up and thought I might ask you a favor.
Trouble? What sort of trouble?
You see that dragon-blooded tiefling over there?
Looks, camera pans over Yeshivon's shoulder. Like, yeah, Vadrug's in the background. Yes, I see him.
Well, he's a folk hero of some sort, but he's been causing a bit of trouble about the 10 towns. Claims to be a hero, actually a bit of a douche. And it would actually be a great favor to me if somebody took care of him.
And what has he done to merit exactly that much attention?
Oh, well, it's started small. Things going missing. Nobody really knew what was going on. And then it became really clear that the only pattern was that he was in every town it happened in. And then, of course, some poor old lady found herself on the wrong side of his temper. And, well, it didn't end very well.
Tell me, has he been trying to solve our winter crisis?
He claims to be trying. Whether or not he's actually succeeding is up for debate at this
So
point.
many adventurers all think they can solve the problems of 10 towns coming here from Baldur's Gate or wherever it is.
In any case, it would be, I could make it worth your while if you would,
He holds up a finger like, we should talk about this later. I'm kind of busy currently.
if that is, you asking me for a little date, then I guess it's a date then.
I'll see you after my shift is over.
Of course. Do you have a particular location in mind?
You can meet me right around here. Things will be packing up. Let's say sundown. Well, not sundown. End of day. There's no sun.
I've noticed that. Okay. Sounds nice. I'll make sure to look presentable for the occasion.
Oh, don't worry yourself over much. And then he kind of like, goes like, now go away. I'm busy.
And Yeshavan kind of turns and heads back towards Bursa. Well, I have an appointment to commission him for work at the very least. We'll see if he takes the bait after that.
And on your mention of bait, the episode ends.
8.
So good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, my dear friends, for once again indulging my Icewind Dale adventures.
Thank you for indulging my desire to have a little gobbo friend.
I'm gonna make you regret that goblin. It'll be great.
You will not, because chat told me that I was playing Mandalorian, and now I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, you are.
Except it's a goblin, not innocent baby Yoda. It's a goblin.
Innocent baby Yoda
They
like
got their
snapped
own-
a horn dude's
They
neck.
got their
so.
own look. They got their own thing going on. Goblins, dude.
Yeah.
You can't change them.
They're chill.
They're rogues. They're renegades.
I respect it.
But
we made a paladin the target of a cult. Just realize that. Great.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
Why don't we have a talk about what everybody else is up to, friends? Let's start with Dave. What are you up to?
Nothing.
Where can people find you?
Probably on Twitter sometimes.
While we get
I
your
have-
been going.
What's that? Oh yeah, VTubing. Yes, that's gonna be great.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know how much we're being serious about things, but on Twitter, you can find me Dave_the_human if you'd like. I have an hour a day allotted by my child locking software to be on Twitter. Otherwise, I'll just lose my mind. So if you're lucky,
You know what? Taking care of your mental health is never dumb, and we
thank
applaud
you.
you.
oh yeah, you didn't get to hear Alexa today, but I took my meds in the middle of the thing in the break with the food.
Nice.
So that's instead of actually doing anything. There you go. There's the PSA for the week.
Alrighty. Aki, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Aki. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mixgenie in a Bottle. That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. And I promise I am not nearly as charming or flirtatious on my Twitter as I am as Yeshavan, but I do my
Disagree.
best.
You are charming. Flirtatious.
If you're the right person, I will flirt with Abria all day and night
Oh
if
my
she'd
god,
let
thank
me.
you. I love it.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. Anyways, you can catch me right after this over on Q Times, playing Clear Skies, a Star Trek Adventures joint. That starts at 6:30 p.m. every Monday, except for the last one, which is Blood of the Void. And then, of course, you can also catch me on Wednesdays over at Rule of Lore, playing in a Tales from the Loop actual play called It Came from the Loop. I'm playing that with the incredible GM, Caitlin Bruder, and it's a lot of fun. That starts at 6 p.m. PDT. And then it has finally been officially announced, but this Saturday, starting with Gabe and a bunch of other really rad players, I will be playing a Werewolf the Apocalypse actual play for the month of October over on Mythic Mythic Grove.
Yeah,
Mythic
Prime
Grove.
Nice.
Twitch.tv/Mythic Grove. That will be at 4 p.m. PDT, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the very first game I am playing it for a stream where everybody except for me is on the East Coast.
Wow.
I am the only West Coaster in the cast, and it's
Represent.
kind of amazing. I am very, very happy about this. But yeah, you'll catch that. That'll be for the next 4 weeks. Our final episode is going to be on Halloween, which is very cool. I'm very excited. And then, of course, look out for a couple of other announcements as well. I'm not. The one other thing that I'm doing on Saturday, I'm not sure has actually been publicly announced yet. So keep an eye on my socials.
Gabe, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Gabe James Games on Twitch, Twitter, pretty much anywhere else. Aki talked about the werewolf stream, which I am very excited about. And I love that the finale on Halloween is a full moon. Like, I could not ask for anything better than that. This upcoming Friday, I'm going to be talking about world building on the Roll20 app Twitch channel. And this episode was a perfect inspiration for it because like there was so much that happened, and especially stuff that I know was not planned. But Elf, you rolled with the punches like an absolute champ, because we are chaos incarnate.
All players are.
Yeah. And then as usual, you could also catch the Enter the Motherland stream on Cypher of Tears channel on Sundays. I'm working as a developer, so pretty much every time they have a stream, if there is a new mechanic or a creature or something in the world that was added, either B Dave, I, or Sharang sat and figured it out like literally within the week because the players brought it up. It is exciting and terrifying.
It's so cool. So good.
Sweet. And of course, last but not least, Abria.
Hi, I'm Abria Iyengar. You can catch me on social media at Quiddy, Quiddie. Check me out on socials for my full schedule. A couple things I do want to shout out tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific over on Hyper RPG. You can catch the finale of Game Master's Gauntlet. Bert is going to be sort of landing our campaign. We've all taken a turn telling a story, and it's super awesome, and I can't wait to see where it ends. Other than that, catch me tomorrow at noon over on Strawberry 17's Twitch channel. I'm finishing up the second half of a one-shot that I was running over there. Other than that, all my schedule is super normal, and I don't think I can talk about Saturday. Aki, can we talk about Saturday?
I really don't know if we can or not. Nothing has been announced. I think people know what's going on this weekend.
Okay, whatever.
Has that at least been?
And someone can yell at me. Gary Con's
Yeah.
and Aki and I are in a game together. It's going to be awesome, and I won't tell specifics because I think that's the thing you get yelled about.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
yes, and I will also be doing a Gary Con game on Sunday as well. So
Heck yeah.
Catch us at Gary Con this weekend.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And watch Pirates of the Leviathan on Wednesdays.
And of course, me personally, I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me on Twitter at Distracted Elf, or on Twitter or on Twitch at twitch.tv/Distracted Elf. I did it the wrong way around, and I almost killed my own flow. That's fine. I am actually in some other tabletop stuff at the moment. I'm guesting on a Roll for Its Ascension game on Thursdays, and I am doing the first session of Doomlore, a 40k Dark Heresy game, on Friday on Fable Scraps. So catch me on that. I made a death cultist, basically. So, enjoy.
Nice.
And then, of course, there's Roll20. You can go to roll20.net and purchase this wonderful module that you've seen me play with before you, with all of these resources and all of these quests and all of these things in the sidebar of, that tell you what you need to be doing, and all the stats for the monsters. You can find them all in the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden module on Roll20, which will make your life a lot easier when you run this game. Yeah. So go to Roll20, play some games, do some stuff, check out the cool marketplace. I don't know, go there. Play games. That's
there
it.
will be a wish list if you haven't already made it, because those tokens are cute and you should support the person who made them on the marketplace.
Indeed. There will be.
Speaking of tokens, I believe by next week we might have new ones.
Possibly. There's art on the horizon. The other thing I will mention is that our undead character, Dear Rattle, is the rules for Rattle are being Wild Rock's Awakened Undead, which there will be a
That's
link
right.
to in the description on YouTube.
Nice.
As well as the Xanathar's Lost Notes to Everything Else, which is several of our backgrounds from this game are from that thing, where that will also be linked in the description on YouTube. So
Sick.
feel free to join check that out. Highly recommend it. Anyway, that's it. See you, nerds. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.